was out of bed at least for 1 year now.
He hasn't needed shots.
No, not anymore.
This is for case one, is that what you
Yes, that's right.
If you will. So they're not required to meet these kinds of standards. And so, yes, we had cafe standards, which in general are a bad policy. I can't understate what a mistake it was.
Hey, what's up, two viewers?
So, yeah. Would you?
kind of nice to have the quiet stream. Silence. Maybe that would work for society if people just like, you know, shut the fuck up more and fucking just mind their own shit and stop yapping at each other about quack shit, you know? And then the world could have peace. You know? Just be chill, you know? I don't think people really want to do that though, because I mean, I don't really know why. It's just people like to fucking quack a lot, I guess. Hey, what's up, one viewer? Thanks for the like. I appreciate that. I'm really not doing anything right now. I just got out of work and I'm just like driving back. But you know, like the whole real reason I started streaming a long time ago was just to be able to like stream when you drive, pretty much, for like, not that you're like trying to audit the police or nothing, but like just in case. And then like, I don't know, it's like not a bad habit to just stream when you drive. And then it's kind of just being more legit, I guess. But yeah, it's like kind of in the theory of like, you know, you would want to have that live stream in case anything ever happened, and then like the people in your little YouTube community would have your back or something if need be, or whatever the situation was, like, you know. But yeah, it turned out the internet is more just garbagey than it is anybody that really actually give a fuck about anything that they're about or what they claim or anything. So yeah, it's just, might as well just stream when you drive. Try not to bother with anyone. I really don't like go out of my way to bother people, like in reality, and like even online, like you'll never catch me just trolling people, you know, randomly, or doing anything like weird or anything at all like that. I don't just mess with people for no fucking reason. The only people that I really mess with is probably the quack, because it's like a cult of fucking absolute scum. Like, they're the most rat scum, like low life, like just snitch, just rat snitch, fucking like human pieces of garbage that you could never trust, you know, in reality. You can't really trust those cults like that online. Only trust people that I know. Oh man. Dude, the cults of garbage, of bullshit they got going around online, and like conspiracy theories and all this garbage is like so fucking trashy nowadays. Like, it's garbage. It's like worse than porn, basically. Like nasty, filthy, degenerate garbage. That's what this whole fucking thing turned into. And, whatever. It is what it is, as they say, I suppose. It's so bad, too, because they really are, like, it's really a cult, like, with negative, just really bad intentions, you know what I mean? So, if anyone was to ask me, oh, you're doing a quiet chill stream, Cuts, what's up with that? I would be like, well, yeah, because it's a little better, and, you know, you ask me, oh, well, are you still going to keep your boot on the fucking quack's neck? Oh, hell yeah. I mean, yeah. You know? But, whatever. They can't even debate their own fucking garbage that they claim, so it's like, just like, whatever. That's crazy work. I always at least try to go on the people's channels who go live that I follow and just say what's up at least, or something. Usually. That's crazy work. They don't even say hi to anymore over here because, like, they're probably worried that the fucking cult is going to start harassing them. I mean, that's some fucking sick, disgusting, fake gematria, Hubbard fucking rat trash type of garbage. They're so garbagey that, like, that people won't even, like, communicate properly anymore. It's crazy. That's fucking insane. I don't know what to make of it. I'm shocked, dude. They don't even communicate in English or like human language anymore. All they do now is like quack and fucking code. Like their little like computer chip robot fucking bots or some shit. Hey, what's good, Space Monkey? Yo. I feel like out of anybody, you could probably appreciate the more like chill type of stream. Not real people or person. Snakes and grifters. I know you got one of them over there being a rat, trying to show off of like Jesuit rhetoric, and then you got the other one. Dude, there's one of them live right now that's like literally shilling, like, what is it? Like they're selling fucking like fake fucking horoscope gematria readings. Like, unbelievable. Fucking real. Like Queen Elizabeth. Zach has the reptilian thing going on. Yeah, I think so too. I'm pretty convinced of that. They do have black eyes. Like, those are black-eyed demon people. You know, and they have a cult. They're like literally running a cult with like a baby. You know, usually cults use babies to like, it's unbelievable. They're like, yeah, bring your kids. It's quacky. Like, it's fucking, I'm your cult leader. Look at my baby, quack. Look at my black-eyed demon baby, or whatever the fuck. Yeah, use your third eye. No, I know. Yeah, when those people appear as like reptilian shape-shifting demons in your third eye, like in your mind's eye when you're awake or dreaming, it's like, you know, they're fucking bad. When they appear on YouTube as demons fighting with every fucking good person that they could find, you know they're fucking demons. You know what I mean? You know it's a rat motherfucker when they do nothing but go out of their way to just try to literally fraud everyone and target children. I mean, dude, Zachary K. Hubbard is a fucking demon. Like, that's the fucking Satan right there. That's the fucking Belal or the fucking Belial or fucking Lord Lucifer or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Yeah, slit-eyed teeth, fucking forked tongue. They glow red. I mean, they're like fucking demons. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not even really like that spiritual that much like that, but I do believe in, like, you know, those supernatural phenomenon ghost story YouTube documentary type videos where they like go they go every day, like it's the priest like lives at some old castle or some shit. And every time at night, they fucking wake up in the morning and find weird shit from the night before, and they're like doing demon rituals and like fucking digging up graves and doing weird shit, and like they find like kids playing with skulls and shit by the fucking, I mean, that's who these people are. You know, they're like the ones that were like digging up the grave and drinking the blood and doing the weird Satan ritual with like putting the numbers on, spray painting 666 on the fucking church. And I mean, these are fucking rat fucking scumbags. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I don't even want to talk about it. Like, unbelievable. Anyways, yeah, it's crazy. I'm glad that there's a couple of you guys that knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Access granted.
They're like supernatural, like demon creatures. They literally like do satanic fucking ritual garbage every fucking day and call it gematria and sports gambling and fraud. That's fucking insane. When really, the world really isn't like about all that. Like, whatever the fuck they're lying about, and they keep, you know what they do? They like insinuate lies and then try to like asperse it onto others so they can like target them. I don't know what it is. Like, why would you go around claiming that fucking Jesuits or any other group are K-wording everybody with gematria when none of the shit you claim is like real whatsoever at all? You just want to be able to use gematria as like a targeting, like it's like a weapon system targeting program. It's like some MK Ultra fucking garbage. It's fucking rat garbage. They probably give fucking the undercover snitches in the fucking feds, they probably give them a gematria manual. I mean, unbelievable. Right when they sign up to become like a rat motherfucker, they give them a little gematria book or some shit. It must be something like that. Usually, like, it's unbelievable. Never mind, unbelievable. Yeah, you can tell they're straight fucking demons. Dude, when they start shape-shifting and doing gematria, I mean, you know it's a fucking demon. When it has like, when it's doing gematria and it has a big ass fucking tail and fucking horns, you know it's a rat fucking devil. It's like a demon fucking rat. When they're snitching and calling it gematria, I mean, you know that's a rat fucking piece of human garbage. Like, you know? It's whatever. Anyways. Maybe I'll just, even though I'm back, maybe I'll just keep the stream going for the fuck of it. Hopefully we don't get any other more scam callers from India. Hopefully those scammers from fucking India don't keep calling. You know, that shit's annoying as fuck. Like, that's crazy work. Really? They call you from India and they're like, hello, is a quackery. It's unfucking believable. Anyways, I hope you guys are doing well this evening. Dude, like, for real talk, Space Monkey, have you ever seen me trolling other people, like anyone else randomly? Like, they say we're trolls and that we're paid or whatever. They're like, he's a paid troll. He's just a troll. They troll people. Quack. And they're like, no. Well, like, you guys are actively trolling me by calling me a troll. Dude, I'm not a troll. Ask anybody. I don't troll anybody. The fuck? You're a troll. That's like the new fucking N-word or some shit. Why don't you just call me the N-word, Quackery? You just like to say the word troll. Fucking scumbag. Oh yeah, you saw it, Space Monkey. You know what I'm talking about. That's crazy. You seen it? In the quack. Trying to make it through this week. Back. I gotta plug this device back in. This one. Hell yeah, thanks for hitting the likes. Whoever knows about my channel, I appreciate it. Oh shit, hold on, I'll be right back. I gotta turn on my... Oh, maybe I could just do it from this one. Should be the same. There we go.
In 1849, British archaeologist Austin Henry Layard
What's this crazy one?
My father
What is this crazy fucking...
Civil War.
The only thing I can't stand about watching the shows on the PlayStation is these goddamn fucking ads. Super duper annoying.
Hello, welcome to Esoteric Guardian.
Esoteric Guardian
Into
Garden.
some of the darkest corners of human spirituality and magical practice. We're talking about the most brutal, dangerous, and extreme esoteric rituals ever performed throughout history. This investigation, I must clarify, is based on historical records, occult manuscripts, and documented practices. In no way am I encouraging anyone to attempt these rituals. Our goal is purely educational, to understand what drives human beings to such extremes in their search for power, enlightenment, or contact with forces beyond our comprehension. Throughout history, humanity has crossed...
It is weird. I wonder why they do this type of stuff.
...in the pursuit of transcendence. Some rituals were designed to break the...
Were they transcending, like the Jesuits or something? Like, I don't get it.
And some...
Like, what do you gotta sacrifice a goat and do gematria for?
should have remained closed forever. What you're about to hear isn't fiction. These aren't stories invented to scare children.
Maybe I'm just old-fashioned. I don't know. A lot of these, they're into this nowadays, I guess.
Into our present day. Let's begin with perhaps the most infamous ritual in Western occultism.
Oh, it's the Aleister Crowley ritual.
Occultism, one name appears repeatedly, Aleister Crowley. And among all his experiments, one stands out as perhaps the most dangerous ritual in Western magical tradition, the Abramelin operation. But
The
before we
Abramelin
get to that
ritual?
catastrophic attempt, we need to understand what this ritual actually is and why it's considered so dangerous. The sacred magic of a Gremlin the Mage.
How come they're not teaching? Why do you guys think it is that Hubbard doesn't just teach why doesn't he just come out and just start teaching the Abramelin ritual or whatever it's called, the Aleister Crowley ritual? You're teaching Aleister Crowley gematria. Why don't you just teach the fucking abracadabra Abramelin ritual or whatever?
Some pleasant meditation with angels.
No?
Think again. This is one of the most demanding, psychologically brutal, and potentially catastrophic rituals ever devised. The original ritual requires 18 months of complete dedication. 18 months. That's a year and a half of your life devoted entirely to this single operation. Crowley,
That's ridiculous.
modified it down to 6 months. But even this shortened version is absolutely punishing. Let me break down exactly what's required, because the devil, as they say, is in the details. First, you must find or create a completely isolated location. You need a house or apartment where you can perform the ritual undisturbed.
Dude, maybe that's why Quacky moved to Prosser. I mean, that's pretty much like a isolated, unbelievable secret, like.
Minimize contact with other human beings to the absolute bare minimum necessary for survival. Your daily schedule becomes completely regimented. You wake before dawn every single day. You perform ablutions, ritual washing.
Ablutions? Really? They call it
Dress
ablutions?
in clean, simple clothing, ideally white linen. Then you enter your oratory and begin the first of multiple daily prayer sessions. And when I say
They're all
prayers,
like, dude, I swear to God, it's a picture of them, like, in this house, and they're all, like, sniffing
these are
some shit, look.
invocations, often lasting an hour or
Look, they're
more,
all, like,
and devotion. You perform
unbelievable.
these prayer sessions multiple times per day.
I don't even want to show you guys this shit.
Noon, evening, and before bed, at minimum. Miss a session, and according to the grimoire, you risk compromising the entire operation. Your diet becomes severely restricted. You fast regularly. When you do eat, it's simple. Pure foods. No meat, no alcohol, no stimulants.
I should look this up. Are Jesuits known to do the Abramelin, Aleister Crowley, Hubbard ritual, or what?
You're attempting to refine your physical vessel into something capable of sustaining contact with a being of pure spiritual light. But here's where it gets really interesting and really dangerous. The operation is structured in two main phases, and the first phase is all about demons. According to the magical
Yikes.
theory of the grimoire, before you
They're
can
doing
sense
some
contact
Kabbalah?
your holy guardian angel,
They're
you must
practicing
first
Kabbalah?
confront and bind every demonic force
They're
that
really-
might interfere with that contact. You're not just acknowledging that demons exist, you're actively invoking them, calling them by name, commanding them to appear. The grimoire provides lists of demons organized by hierarchy. There are 4 principal kings.
This is what I'm pretty sure that they're doing with gematria, but it's like covert. Like they got you summoning demons and doing fake gematria, but you're actually doing some real. Not that your gematria is legit, but you're probably doing something from the Kabbalah of Aleister Crowley that you're not aware of. You know, like all those numbers you guys claim. They're more likely it's just a quack playing a sick joke on you, getting you to summon fucking demons from the Killapoth. And fucking, you don't even know any better. You're like, oh yeah, so we're gonna win. It's from the Kabbalah, quack, or whatever. And you're like summoning demons, probably.
Now imagine the psychological reality of this.
I could picture that being the reality of all this more so than any of the claims of any of the quacks.
Sleeping little and deliberately invoking everything your culture has taught you to fear. You're calling up demons, you're inviting them into your consciousness, you're engaging in psychological warfare with entities that, whether you believe they're objectively real or just aspects of your own psyche, have all the time in the world to find your weaknesses. The mental strain is enormous. Practitioners report vivid nightmares, waking visions, paranoid thoughts, and the constant feeling of being watched or followed. Some experience what they interpret as direct attacks.
You know, when you start doing this like evil satanic demon Kabbalah, Aleister Crowley Kabbalah gematria rituals, if you don't do them properly, like it just like releases like evil demon spirits on you. Like that's what my understanding of it is. So like for the quack, isn't that evil? Like the quack goes around and he gets everybody to start doing like half gematria, and they're really just like all end up acting like a bunch of cult of fucking demons. I mean, really?
The angel appears,
what a fucking joke.
Makes its presence known, and
I don't think they should be dabbling with any of this shit at all.
According to those who claim
this is why you're supposed to learn gematria from a rabbi, is because it's like a religious thing. It's supposed to pertain to religion, and anything that like subverts from that is gonna lead you. It's like demon garbage. Like it's like gambling and drugs and prostitution and fucking weird fucking shit with like joining a cult and being a quack.
Authority that allows you to command spirits, work magic with ease, and navigate life with perfect clarity about your true will. That's if everything goes right. But what happens when it goes wrong?
There's probably is actually a gematria Discord somewhere that like only the chosen few, the chosen ones know about, like the chosen few gematrians, where they like actually are doing the real Kabbalah rituals of like Aleister Crowley and Satanism or whatever the fuck, and they're like, it's just a big joke to them. They're like, ha 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 ha, we got all our dumb sheep cult member customers fucking doing our rituals halfway for us. Ha ha ha. Stupid losers. What a fucking joke.
Members of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. He became involved in complicated romantic entanglements. The operation, which
yeah, no, that's what they do. They do this shit on purpose.
Was constantly interrupted. And then, after several months, he abandoned
see if I'm still alive
without completing the second phase. He had opened
I think I'm still alive
without establishing the divine authority necessary to close them properly. According to Crowley's own later writings and the accounts of people who
I got my gematria from Aleister Crowley, quack.
He experienced what he called his dark night of the soul, a period of spiritual desolation and psychological torment. But the effects extended far beyond Crowley himself.
That's crazy how that rat Hubbard subverted the whole truth community to think that Aleister Crowley is the good guy in the fucking occult in the story, but the Jesuits and the Christians are the bad ones. That's fucking crazy work. What a fucking dude. That's literally that's gotta be like a psycho, like a blood drinking fucking demon, like literally.
Sometimes lasted long after they left. In the 1960s and 70s, Led Zeppelin guitarist Jimmy Page, who was deeply interested in Crowley and occultism, purchased Boleskine House. Even Page, who was no stranger...
They did gematria in the Boleskine House, really?
He rarely stayed there and eventually sold it. In 2015, a massive fire destroyed much of the house. Another fire in 2019 damaged what remained. Some occultists see this as the house finally purging itself.
Is my stream still working?
Others believe those entities simply know
oh yeah, it is.
Okay. And are now free to roam. This grimoire itself warns about this repeatedly. It states that anyone who begins the operation frivolously, without true dedication, or who abandons it midway, will suffer terribly. The demons you've invoked will remain in your sphere of influence.
I don't know if this is really the video I wanted to share. I don't really have anything for you guys, but it just came on, so whatever.
Almost doesn't matter. The effect is the same. You've damaged your psychological equilibrium in ways that may take years to repair, if they can be repaired at all. This is why serious occult teachers emphasize that grimoire magic.
Yeah, beware of any of these quacks that are telling you that they're gematria, quote unquote, teacher.
Guidance and absolute commitment. The brutality of this ritual isn't in any physical ordeal. It's in the systematic psychological warfare you wage against yourself and the spiritual forces, however you conceive them, that you invite into your life. For almost 2,000 years, from 1500 BCE to the 4th century CE, the Eleusinian Mysteries stood as the highest and most sacred initiation of the ancient Greek world. They were dedicated to Demeter and Persephone, goddesses of life, death, and rebirth. Thousands were initiated, philosophers, emperors, poets.
Yikes.
Yet not one ever revealed what truly happened inside the Telesterion, the great hall of Eleusis. The penalty for speaking a single word of it was death. What could be so powerful that an entire civilization agreed to
How come
keep
it seems like
secret
my chat stopped?
until
Hold on.
millennia?
What's going on here?
Initiates began with purification and fasting, then walked 14 miles from Athens to Eleusis along the sacred way.
Oh, that's
carrying
super weird. It
offerings
glitched out
and
my
sacred
chat.
At the temple, they sacrificed a pig, a blood oath of devotion, bathed in the sea.
Sorry, I know you guys don't like that shit.
If you're familiar with the bookstore, you know that in this back room, we do show and tell events where we have people come in the back room. It's a lot of fun and we cover a wide variety of subjects. And occasionally,
What is this weird video?
She trusted her lawyer after the accident. They told her she needed more tests, more procedures. They called it necessary.
Jesus Christ.
She was scared.
Unbelievable. Fucking ads.
Generations share in the historical narcissism that they are, in fact, the final generation. That the world is coming to an end, and quickly, within their lifetime at least. It's as if every generation feels that it's entitled to nothing short of the apocalypse.
Oh,
And
they're
yet,
entitled to the
perhaps
apocalypse?
through the
That's
sheets
great.
Of each and every proclaimer of doom, prognosticator of the end, and apocalyptic prophet.
They're entitled to their prophetic messiahing. Like,
Generations that a sense of impending doom is more or less reasonable given their historical circumstances. Honestly, for some time periods, it seems to be a very reasonable.
you know what I think the end of the world prophecy is? It's just a metaphor for all people. Everybody's gonna live and go through trials, and then you're gonna die, and then it's like the end of the world. It's like the end of your world, you know?
And even for China,
It's
for
just
that
a
matter,
metaphor
the
for
20th
you.
century saw the rise of atomic weaponry, chemical and biological warfare, and the contest between the world powers willing to use.
Your
nuclear
anti-Jesuit,
billion
like, end of the
people.
world apocalypse prophecy is just a metaphor for you. It's just a, you know,
East and Western Europe.
it's your own
Great famine
apocalypse.
from 15 to 17 was its way to the Black Death, killing up to a third of the population of Western Europe.
Oh my God, now they're having fucking
By papal schisms, the horrifying
more
Inquisition
fucking quack
to
fucking
stamp out heresy. There were widespread
agenda
peasants'
garbage,
rebellions that threatened to turn the
conspiracies.
entire feudal world upside down. All the while, the first phase of the 100 Years' War.
Dude, they
was
always been doing
breaking
this
out and
prophecy.
ravaging France and England into what Hegel has, I think, very rightly called the butcher bench and the slaughter bench of history, a Catalan.
I don't get it too. What are you supposed to get out of that if you're like the Messiah and you're right about the end of the world prophecy that you got? And like what? Like you're supposed to be like honored as a god for like you are the savior, you are the Messiah. Oh my God, you fucking stopped the fucking Armageddon. Or they're like supposed to get praised for it, but they didn't even stop it. They just predicted it. They're like, yeah, I predicted that.
Discover secrets by which to actively combat the power of the
I
Antichrist.
predicted the next
Secret
pandemic.
medicines
Quack!
for
Or whatever the fuck.
sickness,
Oh, do you want a cookie?
preserving
So did
the
fucking every single other Messiah. Like,
and even the means to create precious
Like, what
metals
makes
to
you the
stock
more
the
magical
public
Messiah?
sense
Where's that? Like, we
of
need to make a Messiah gauge meter app. You know what I mean? For like all these Messiahs online that do gematria and they think they're like Mr. Predictor. They're fucking predicting shit and fucking the Antichrist and the fucking, they're predicting the end of the world apocalypse, you know? We need to make like a fucking app for that. There needs to be an app for that, like a phone app, like your Messiah meter app, where it's like, oh, you're like a fucking, you're only a 50% fucking clear Messiah, quack.
Also, check out my other content on topics in esotericism, including curated playlists on a range of sources. Also, if you want to support my work,
And then the thing is, when we make it, it'll be a joke, because once you like achieve quackery level, like you're a full-blown quack fake gematria Messiah, it like goes all the way to the top. It's like 100% Messiah, and then the award that it gives you, it just puts like duck memes all over the screen, and it's all quack, 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 you're a Messiah, quack, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Let's turn to the apocalyptic war against the Antichrist, using the weapons of prophecy.
They're using prophecy and
Dr. Justin Sledge, and welcome
alchemy to fight the fucking Antichrist and the apocalypse, you guys. What if it's just a metaphor for, like, you know, the end of days is just per person. It's like whenever your number is up, you know? What if all our calendars and counting and numbers and everything is all wrong anyways?
As I mentioned in the introduction, the European world of the 14th century was simply one of tumult. And this was precisely the time period when Christian thinking about the events...
Yeah, it is kind of cool, like, learning about all this shit, like, if it's, like, historical and factual, but...
pretty radical transformations.
Pretty
Now,
interesting.
for centuries prior to this period, the influence of Augustine had basically put the kibosh on speculations about the apocalypse. Augustine really leaned to the idea that no one really knows when it's going to happen, and we should be focused.
All right, nobody likes the fucking 72 demons from the Kabbalah. Nobody likes the fucking Antichrist. Nobody likes the apocalypse. What do you guys like? You don't like silence. You don't like music. You don't like trolling. I don't know. We should find a fucking live streaming cat video.
Which was often sometimes just as short as...
Nah, I like this channel. This is actually a good research channel
medieval period
for esoteric knowledge.
Both speculation about precisely when and how the apocalypse would unfold, but also a shift of when the period of the millennial peace would occur. Again, now shifted after the of the Antichrist.
Dude, this cat's actually a dope. This cat is dope, actually. He did a video today earlier where he was at some like
The nigh-apocalyptic tumult of the 14th century.
some like special like literature convention where they had like hella booths. You know, like a jewelry sales booth with like all the booths, but it was for like esoteric books and knowledge and stuff. And he was there, and he got his hands on some book that was actually written by John D. Not John D. Rockefeller, but like John D., the magic guy.
For them by Joachim of Villor. Now, greatly simplifying his system.
It was the actual book, like written by the guy,
overlapping systems all at
of
once.
alchemy and stuff, and geometry, sacred geometry and alchemy and stuff.
The period of the Father, which was
Crazy.
pre-Jesus time of the Old Testament or the Hebrew Bible. The period of the Son.
Dude, you would probably actually have to study like at a college level, like at a intellectual level, to even be able to deal with any of that research. Really, like, I couldn't figure it out. If I looked through that shit, I'd be like, I don't know about all this. What the hell is this?
During this final period, that a kind of mystical insight will fall upon all of the righteous before final combat of the Antichrist and some version of the utopian millennium. Now, while Joaquin did tend away
This
from
channel is cool though,
precise
because he like
depictions
finds
of
this
the
stuff
world,
and
his
is an
followers saw
academical,
the
researched
emperor
philosopher,
Frederick II,
like educator
no,
guy, but
the budding Antichrist. But
he
then
presents it all in a
Joaquin
way and
died in
like
1260,
explains
so
it
new dates were drawn up.
to the
1290,
layman so that we could kind of like get the gist of it.
Still kicking that can down the road. Regardless of
But it's just history, like all this old witchcraft type stuff, it's just history. It's not
was that one,
like
the age of the spirit had definitely
part of
begun.
like
Two, Antichrist
the future.
was
It's like
imminent
part of the
and was going to
past.
appear soon. And three, the Franciscans, especially the persecuted spirituals and their Beguine followers, were the order of the just proclaimed by Joaquin, and they would lead the church in those final apocalyptic days. Again, narcissism when you think it's going to be your generation that will be the last one, but real narcissism when it's your order that will be the last thing to go. And it was into this matrix of spiritual reform, apocalyptic incitement, and several nightmarish decades of the 14th century, along with a heavy dose of prophetic frenzy, that John of Lupistisha would develop his own combination of apocalyptic speculation and the alchemy to not only endure the onslaught of the Antichrist, but to bankroll the construction of that utopian millennium. You can't build a utopia with no money. And as for John, as we'll see, we don't know much about him. Nothing is known about his early life. But sometime around 1310, we learned that he studied for around 5 years in Toulouse, starting around 1332. But he found the academic world spiritually sterile, and basically philosophers and theologians just banting around a bunch of nonsense. I hate to tell you, John, I haven't changed much. Now, it's here that he probably became acquainted with the more radical fractions of the Franciscans, who were especially active in that region, with the Inquisition, along with the prophetic structures and writings of folks like Joaquin of Fior, and the practice of alchemy. We then later find him in a Minorite monastery sometime.
Maybe you guys can't hear it or something. I can't tell.
And it would be in 1344 that he
It's
would
all
find
right.
himself
I don't wanna do
basically
it too
in and out of
loud.
prison or other forms of house arrest or sometimes of institutional custodialship for the rest of his life. The next 20 years of his life to the very end of his life, he's just in and out of various kinds of dungeons and prisons and house arrest. Now, we don't know why he was
Jesus Christ,
in
ruins of a prison of the
It seems possible that his
Inquisition.
prophetic proclamations,
Dude, you guys are
especially
crying
those
about the
focused
shit
on
that they're
institutional
doing
church,
nowadays? What about you look in history and like look how fucking dude, they're like they got dungeon pit fucking jail like
led to him being arrested, but he doesn't appear to actually have written down his
torture
prophetic works
dungeon
until
jail.
after
What if
he was
instead of
arrested.
jail, jail's nice? What about if it was like a torture dungeon?
This ultimately got him paid.
I mean, I guess it kind of
So
still is,
confusing.
but
However, he did have visions prior to his imprisonment, which he was actually kind of skeptical of at first, especially one in which he saw the Antichrist. The Antichrist is a big theme in this episode. He saw the Antichrist as a child in a far-off city that he only knew as Zayton. Apparently, he didn't make much of this until a local bishop informed him that Zayton was a real place. It existed. In fact, it was the Arabic name of the coastal city
Zayton?
of
Maybe that's where they got
which
Satan.
very
It sounds like
much
Satan.
Wind in his sails. He had a dream about a city and turns out it was
Zayton?
real in China. So we don't know why he was first.
Dude, I feel like they glitched
So
out my
the
chat or
conditions of
something.
imprisonment are often just as perplexing. In some cases, he seems to have been cast in chains into the most stereotypical kinds of medieval dungeons, and in other cases, he pretty clearly has access to reams of expensive parchment and writing materials. His alchemical equipment also seems to probably be there with him at some point, and his writings on both topics, they all easily travel out of his confinement. He writes and he's able to disseminate this stuff out of prison. Now, if the church wanted to shut him up, they clearly weren't trying especially hard. I mean, this was a period of extreme activity by the Inquisition, and having, spiritual Franciscans burned alive was kind of what you did on, that was just like a Tuesday. So, if they wanted to shut him up, they weren't really
Oh, good,
trying
thanks.
hard. So we're faced with
Thanks,
a number of
Space Monkey, I
perplexing
appreciate
practical
that.
elements of John's life and his imprisonment and the production of his writings and his alchemy. He would eventually defend himself before the Pope at Avignon, and failing to detect any heresy in his positions, he wasn't a heretic. he was again remanded to some kind of custodial detention, probably house arrest in Avignon, where he was declared a fantasticus rather than a heretic.
A fantasticus? I never even heard of that one.
Guilty by reason of insanity, but we don't know.
Fantasticus. I know what that word means. That's what quacky is. You're a fantasticus or whatever he said.
Tracks, many of which were both disseminated widely.
Fanatical fantasticus.
The various vernacular languages. They were profoundly corrupted in transmission before being very influential both theologically and alchemically, and that's all before their further influence starting with printing in the 16th century. So let me just say
it's a heretic. That doesn't make sense, I think.
John's
I'm not sure.
Works, especially his alchemical titles. As I mentioned a moment ago, his work did prove enormously.
Or a blind heretic.
Sometimes because he was confused with
a fantastical, what did he say? A fantasticus fucking fanatic,
enigmatic texts,
anti-Jesuit fanatic.
Are nothing if not enigmatic. Later copyists, theologians, and technicians are often doing as much interpreting those works and interpolating their own interpretation into those
Dude,
texts.
the Jesuits never even put the quack in a dungeon before. I mean, what is he crying about?
Of the text are frankly trying to fix.
Dude, they probably have hella dungeons in all the castles around the fucking, like,
remove us from
you know, like,
as much as they give us
in those areas in Europe or whatever, they probably have a bunch of dungeons in the castle where near the Jesuits where they could fucking put the quack.
Of those texts to begin with. But using some fancy pants sophisticated codological analysis, we can forensically see genealogical relationships between various manuscripts and at least through a glass darkly reach back as far as possible to the
what if the Jesuits caught the quack one day and they were like,
in fact,
they got it, they like capture him, right? They're like, we got you, quackery, or whatever, and they're like, all they do is they're like, we don't appreciate you like frauding us or whatever, and then they're like, we're gonna turn you over to the Satanists and let them deal with you in a dungeon, and then they give him to like the locals to like drag him to the castle and like put him in the dungeon, and then they like he learns what the evil really is. You know, the quack.
And check out that video. It was a real honor to have an in-depth conversation with him about John, alchemy, and his own interests.
Anyways, I don't want this channel to get mad at me for playing his videos too much. An hour of strange haunting mysteries. Look, these are all the satanic cults. God, they need to quit doing these ads. Oh, that's frustrating. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, that's what I was telling him to put just a live streaming cat collar on a local stray cat that's really scrappy and send the cat around to teach gematria with little speaker on the cat. And then, Yeah, and like a little robot, like a police drone. They could send it out to teach gematria, to pound pavement, as they say. Isn't that what police robots do? They pound pavement. I mean, that's what they do. Most fucking coded by coders, coding fucking bots. Most robots that run on code, pound pavement. Probably for the police. You know, most of them do that. That's what they do. Like, imagine a police drone with its siren on, screaming about Jesuits and saying 201 and you're bad and you might be a Jesuit. And except it's not actually a police drone like you would think of, like a little probe droid drone from like Star Wars or whatever, like R2D2, but it's actually just Zachary K. Hubbard is a police drone. You know? Yeah, put put a Zach Hubbard face mask on a robot police dog and send it running around teaching gematria, basically. Just use a fucking scrappy cat. I mean, put a fucking cat collar on a video collar on a cat and
he was a colonel in the United States Army specialized in psychological operations. According to him, in 1975, he had a vision in which the Egyptian god Set appeared.
Oh my God, this is that fucking cultist quack, the other one of them.
A deity associated with
What is his name? Aquino?
became the center of a new philosophy.
Unbelievable.
The Sepa, which means
Quack Aquino?
unlike LaVey, Aquino did not see
Aquinoid.
Set as a symbol, but as a real entity that could guide his followers towards spiritual enlightenment.
This is funny. All the satanic cults explained and.
Naked women or public
Hold on,
scandals.
let me start it over. Because I think I was
In
ranting.
1966, a failed musician and lion tamer, Anton LaVey, founded the church.
Yeah, Michael Quack Aquino. Yup.
But there was something that didn't fit.
The quack tries to say that this guy was like the Jesuits or some shit.
That the Satan part was a farce. He did not believe in Satan. But to reach his real goal, he had to make use of his powerful image. He started by scandalizing the Puritan society of the 1960s with his black mass, where a naked woman served as an altar. But that was just the surface. Behind every ritual, there was a hidden message.
Yeah. He's like in the Army Special Warfare Division or some shit.
The devil, but he used his image to promote atheism and hedonism. And there was something more behind his obsession with the devil's image. His satanic Bible, written in just 3 weeks, was a mix of Nietzsche's philosophy, circus rituals, and dating advice. But here's
Jesus
the fact
Christ.
that few know.
You guys see how quacky these motherfuckers are? They're like, Michael Aquino built his fucking gematria Bible in fucking only a few months.
His followers, mostly artists and eccentric millionaires, paid to be part of an exclusive club where the only sin was boredom. Although the press labeled them as worshippers of evil, the truth was more absurd. They used the figure of Satan to vaccinate against religious fanaticism. But their game had limits, and not everyone was satisfied with LaVey's theatrical approach. In 1975, Michael
Quacky tries to say that none of these cults are real, that there's no such thing as any of these satanic cults, and that they're all creations of the Jesuits, but the actual cult that does all the satanic witchcraft stuff, that doesn't exist. But it is the Jesuits, though, however.
According to him, in 1975, he had a vision in which the Egyptian god Set appeared to him. It revealed that Satan was only a shadow of his truth.
He was reading the fucking,
deity associated with
he was reading the Kabbalion, and he got a vision from Set or whatever, some shit. Like, fuck out of here.
becoming. Unlike LaVey, Aquino did not see Set as a
Dude, I hope that none of you guys actually believe in any of this shit. You shouldn't believe in this type of stuff.
The rituals of the Temple of Set did not include naked women or public scandals. Instead, they focused on deep meditation and self-exploration.
Playboy Nikki? I don't know what that is.
Required members to spend 72 hours in total isolation without food or water.
72 hours in isolation, get it?
Here's something few know. In 1986, Aquino was investigated by the FBI after it was discovered that several manuals of the Order of the Nine Angles, a neo-Nazi organization, were hidden in his house.
Oh, he's like a Nazi Satanist. All right.
Tarnished the reputation of the Temple of Set. Today, the Temple of Set remains.
Oh, so it's not actually hermetic. It's actually
This document,
neo-Nazi fucking cult garbage.
includes a clause that warns: if you break your oath to Set, the forces of chaos will act against you. Although there is no evidence that anything supernatural occurs, several former members have reported strange experiences, such as recurring dreams of snakes or inexplicable losses of personal belongings. In 2018, a former member.
Yeah, that's what they do in a cult. They fucking do weird shit like that.
Psychological trauma. The case was dismissed, but it left a question in the air. Is it just a theatrical ritual, or is there something darker behind it? The Satanic Temple. In 2013, Lucian Greaves and Malcolm Jarrett founded the Satanic Temple, but not to worship the devil.
Watch, the Quack's gonna claim this one is the Jesuits by tomorrow. After the fact.
What began as a small.
Watch, by tomorrow the Quack's gonna be like talking about these fucking Satanists and like defending them and saying that they're the Jesuits or whatever. Like, don't you think it's weird that they established the temple of Set or whatever and fucking
in front of the Arkansas Capitol, right next to a Ten Commandments monument. The reason? A state law allowed religious monuments on public.
You know what they do? They're trying to fraud religion, so they go around and do like the most slimiest, scummiest fucking garbage to try to trick and scare people. And it's really like criminal. It's like super duper evil and criminal what they do.
Goat-head and throne adorned with smiling children went viral, becoming a symbol of the fight for the separation between religion and the state. Its social actions have made the
Even the church isn't that bad. Like, I'm not a big church religion person either, but like, even the church isn't as bad as how these scum fuck cults do it. They literally go around and try to like torture and harass and like kill animals and like cause harm and like psychological damage and do weird rituals, and there's like always hella missing kids, and you're like, oh. Yeah, they try to steal people's minds. Even the church isn't that bad. Like, the Christians don't go around doing that. That's ridiculous. They try to, what they do, they're really bad people, and they want to go around and try to scare and intimidate the good people.
The sinister path pushes.
That's pretty much what's going on.
Through dangerous rituals and trials.
Ooh, they want to scare you with rituals and stories, theories of rituals, and a Jesuit sighting of a Jesuit ritual, and a fucking. They're like, aren't you scared? Don't you think it's the Jesuits?
Beyond the rituals.
Yeah, it's super duper brainwashing. It's MK Ultra. That's what MK Ultra is it's like a fucking satanic Nazi demon cult that goes around and does satanic rituals and tries to mind control and fuck with people's minds. That like they're fucked. That's the fuck boys. Don't you dare say I'm a fuck boy. That you motherfuckers are fuck boys.
The defendant stated that the attack was part of a ritual to purify the human race. This type of incident has led governments and.
I don't go around trolling people for their religion.
Organization is a real threat, not just spiritual, but also social. What makes this sect unique is not only its.
I think that's the difference between a religion and a cult. A religion is just a group that does their religion, but a cult. The cults are the ones that are doing quasi-religiosity, and they try to use it to go around and try to fraud the people with the religion. Because they don't have the dedication to do the religion properly. So they want to like, they just want to like try to destroy the world, you know?
Hence the name of the sect. Satan is a spiritual guide. The members of Joy of Satan.
Dude, these people literally like worship Satan, bro, and they do fake gematria. They literally do fake gematria and worship Satan and Baphomet. They do Baphomet fucking yoga. Like, fuck out of here.
Achieve a greater understanding of themselves and the universe. Although the
You
organization
can tell by the
is
eyes and how someone speaks if they are brainwashed. Yeah.
It remains an active online community where they share teachings and rituals for those interested in the spiritual aspect of Satanism.
That sounds familiar.
What does it really mean to worship Satan as a deity? The Luciferian order sees Lucifer not as a demon, but as a symbol of enlightenment and rebellion. For its followers, Lucifer is the light that guides towards self-knowledge and wisdom. But behind this seemingly innocent philosophy, there's something more unsettling. In 2020, a former member sued the order, claiming that their inner flame meditation rituals caused psychological trauma. According to him, the deep introspection sessions...
That's good. They should sue these cults like that.
Identity crises. Although the case was dismissed, it exposed controversial practices, such as the broken mirror ritual, where members spend hours looking at themselves in the mirror while repeating chants to...
These are what rituals actually are. Rituals aren't Jesuits doing gematria. That doesn't even qualify as a ritual. That's not even a real thing.
2018, a member in France was hospitalized after attempting to achieve total enlightenment through extreme fasting and prolonged isolation. Although it is presented as a philosophy of personal growth, the Luciferian order remains a branch of Satanism, and its connection to the occult cannot be ignored. The First Satanic Church. Anton LaVey's daughter, Carla LaVey, founded the First Satanic Church in 1999 to continue her father's legacy. Although it promotes a hedonistic...
You know, most of these, like, conspiracy theories come from stuff that's going on with, like, the occult, and people, like, doing rituals in the woods and doing weird-ass, super-duper weird-ass shit. And fucking, then, by the time anybody figures it out, the satanic cult, like, intercepts them and says, no, it's the Jesuits are doing gematria. You can trust us. It's the Christians. They're like, it's the Jesuit. It's you. It might be you. You might be a Jesuit.
Cryptocurrency investors and generating criticism.
They're like gaslighting you. They're like, the Jesuits are doing gematria.
Rebellion against materialism.
Don't you think the Jesuits are doing gematria? Look at my gematria. They're like, would you like to do some gematria with me?
Power and control often hide behind masks of freedom. The Temple of the Black Light, originally from Sweden.
The Temple of the Black Light. Watch, Zach's gonna be an expert on all this shit by tomorrow.
Its philosophy, chaosophy,
and say they're all Jesuits.
Real metaphysical force that must be embraced to achieve enlightenment. In 2017, the Swedish police raided their headquarters after discovering they used hallucinogenic mushrooms in their rituals.
Oh,
one of its members,
they're using mushrooms and doing weird rituals?
Where he spent 72 hours.
They're doing mushrooms and gematria, you guys? We are calling you.
They believe that physical reality is just an illusion that hides the dark forces of chaos.
Can you Gmail me some gematria mushrooms, quackery? I'll get right on that.
Trance of chaos. A central principle of the Temple of the Black Light is the rejection of the order of the physical world.
I don't even think the Satanists are as bad as the quacks, because the quacks like lie about it.
Focus on personal transformation.
At least the Satanists just sneak around and hide and know what they're doing is wrong and bad, and fucking keep it to, well, they don't, I don't know what they do, but
the Temple of the Black Light is very exclusive.
The quacks will try to lie to you and like induct you into it and then lie about what it even is, what they're up to, until it's like, until you figure it out and you're like, oh, you fucking scum. You people are fucking scum.
Satan through distorted audio recording. The audio, which went viral, contained unintelligible whispers that, according to him, were instructions to achieve power. This decentralized network of satanic groups, Hinduism sees Satan, Lucifer, and Lilith.
Most of the satanics are like all these cults. These people are fucking losers.
Called invocations seek to strengthen the connection.
They have to look up to somebody like Aleister Crowley as a leader. I mean, really? Really? You look up to Aleister Crowley? I mean, you're a fucking scumbag.
Cemeteries using human remains as part of
yeah, look, they dig shit up in the graves and do weird rituals.
The Brotherhood of Satan is one of the most unsettling branches of Satanism, where the line between devotion and obsession is often blurred. The global order of Satan. In 2022,
The Global Order of Satan?
sent a letter
Jesus
to the United
Christ.
Nations organization asking for Satan to be recognized as a global symbol of human rights.
Have you guys ever heard of this video? It's like a little cartoon video to like.
As devils dancing in front of embassies. Inspired by the Satanic Temple, this organization uses Satan as a symbol of freedom and rebellion, not as a real entity. Their focus is on the separation between religion and state, as well as the defense of human rights. In 2021,
They're like, our Satanism's not real. It's not a real entity. It's just, we like to dance around with like goat wardrobe and
organizations fighting against
say we're the goat.
gender discrimination. However, their activism is not without controversy. In 2022, a member in Canada was expelled after using the organization's funds to finance a documentary about occult rituals, the Order of the Red Dragon.
Oh, no, they don't like that. They don't like it when you expose their
Was
cult.
hospitalized after a dragon ritual, where he attempted to channel chaos energy using hallucinogenic herbs. According to him, the ritual led him to a state of extreme enlightenment.
The guy started
diagnosed him
floating.
with severe intoxication. Founded in Sweden, this order combines Satanism with occultism, Norse paganism, and chaos magic. Their
Yikes,
philosophy
that's
is based
bad.
on
And then they start
chaos
doing
and
gematria.
darkness are creative forces that can transform reality. Although it is a small organization, the Red Dragon has attracted those interested in exploring the darker aspects of human existence. Its focus on practical magic and personal transformation distinguishes it from other branches of Satanism, the Church of Azazel. In 2015,
Yeah, they
a member of
invert
Church
the
of
symbols into
Azazel
something
in Texas
evil. Exactly,
kidnapped a
Space
local
Monkey. That's
politician
exactly what
and
they
forced
do.
him at gunpoint to recite an oath to Azazel.
They'll do like a backwards, upside down, inside out symbol and put it like on like a horrific massacre, and then they'll be like, "Don't you think that's the Jesuits or whatever?" And it's like, "Oh, I think you're satanic." It's like, I don't know. I think you might be lying.
According to their beliefs,
Why are you trying to cover up the thing? They'll try to say it didn't even happen. They'll be like, "No, there was no fucking guy in, Tennessee that fucking K-word is good. No, it's just the Jesuits doing a gematria ritual. There's nothing to see
Makes it
here."
one of the most dangerous branches of Satanism, the Order of the Black Serpent. In 2020, the Order of the Black Serpent sabotaged a pipeline in Canada.
Dude, these are like actual
The serpent
satanic
will
cults.
devour the polluters on the pipes. They used a liquid made from herbs and animal blood to corrode the metal. And it worked. This order sees the serpent as a symbol of wisdom, just transformation.
I think the
and
occult
rebellion.
garbage people is the
The
New
most
World
well-known
Order.
ritual involves wrapping a
The
lion
New World
in
Order is the
super
people from the occult trying to take over the world and like enforcing their occult belief ideologies
But they called it a gift from
onto
the snake
people,
gods.
like into permeating it
Although it's a
into
small
society.
organization, the Order of the Black
They want to
Serpent
get
is
rid of
named for
anything that's
those
good
interested
and
in
just replace it
mythological
with the
Satanism
cult
and
garbage.
nature-based magic. Don't forget to support this type of content by subscribing and watching this other very curious video that you will love.
Yeah, that's bad. They won't even tell you about all that type of stuff.
Necromancy.
Look, these are the forbidden rituals that they do.
Politicians are impossible to trust.
Oh my God.
Almost
hold
died
on.
their sentence for.
They'll tell you that the quacks will tell you that the actual historical occult research is just the conspiracy, but that their gematria conspiracy theory about it being the Jesuits that are doing the rituals, that's supposed to be believable and legit. But anything that's actually real or factual and historical or about the occult and all this type of stuff, no, those are the conspiracies. Those are just conspiracies. The Eye of Ra has nothing to do with Lucifer or Satan. Yeah, I kind of know what you mean. Yeah, that's a good example, Space Monkey. They'll try to use it as something evil and like stamp it all over some like atrocity and then be like, ah, you see, it's the Jesuits or whatever. Total fucking clowns. Straight up goofies.
But what they did there was not simply speaking with the dead. It was a practice fraught with risk. During the Middle Ages, this dark magic
rituals are.
necromancy.
Oh, necromancy. That's like when they do the fake gematria on people that die.
Their places held such sinister power that practitioners claimed to be opening a gateway to the afterlife.
Necromancy is like when you siphon the energy, you try to harvest the energy from someone that just died to sell your shit, like to sell gambling, for example.
Persecuted as an act of blasphemy.
That's necromancy.
Necromancers never
When you do
stopped.
fake gematria on someone that just died and then fucking you're trying to like harvest the energy and transfer it, transmute it over into a Patreon, that's necromancy.
Expensive objects created with technology that was mysterious.
Dude, that's fucking disgusting. They do
The
necromancy.
symbols carved into them and the materials they were made of were said to possess unique properties that could ward off forces beyond human comprehension. Spells recited in Latin or other ancient languages were seen as magical keys capable of opening portals to other realms. But this power came at a price. Summoning the wrong spirit could spell
Yeah,
total disaster.
keys, open doors, says the quacks.
Every word spoken brought them closer to such macabre things as seeking advice from deceased ancestors, summoning spirits to exact revenge, casting curses on enemies, or the most dangerous ritual of trying to bring the dead back to life. But the most perverse and disturbing...
Dude, I've never seen some fucking sports authority god like Kobe Bryant. These motherfuckers want to bring him back to life so fucking bad, it's ridiculous. Like, they just cannot stop doing necromancy on the guy. They're like, Kobe Bryant! They're like, Kobe 42, Kobe quack! They're like, there's some fucking quack motherfuckers. They want to bring Kobe Bryant back to life? I mean, unbelievable.
Paranoia towards the heretical. This ritual that spread like a shadow across Europe took shape as a dark and perverse reflection of the Christian mass.
Dude, doesn't it seem like Zachary K. Hubbard and his cult wants to bring back Kobe from the dead? They're like, the Jesuits killed him in a plane crash. If we do enough gematria, maybe he'll come back.
In order to secure his influence over the monarch. But the details of these rituals are what are truly shocking. Imagine an altar not decorated with flowers or sacred symbols, but covered in blood, excrement, or even the naked body of a woman.
Jesus Christ.
This grotesque altar became the center of the ceremony where Christian prayers were desecrated.
God, that's
recited
disgusting.
backwards or replaced by invocations to demonic forces. The sacred host, if they managed to obtain it, was treated in the most sacrilegious way possible, from being spit on to being used in sexual acts. All this was done under the light of black candles with an inverted cross presiding over the scene. The purpose of these rituals was not simply to shock.
So basically they like tie up and rape fucking kids and women in their rituals, is what he's saying.
Many believed that the participants were selling their souls in doing so, condemning themselves to an eternity of suffering. Be careful, too, because during the Inquisition and witch hunts, even a simple accusation of participating in the Black Mass could lead to unimaginable torture and horrific executions that only increase the mystery and terror surrounding these rituals.
Dude, I think the kingdom that enforced that anti-witchcraft stuff, they were onto something, I think.
The Black Mass as one of the most heinous acts ever committed. But what is most disturbing is that despite centuries of persecution, the echoes of the Black Mass continue to resonate to this day. Although certainly not as loudly as those of the dark ritual that marked the fate of an entire generation, the voodoo doll ritual.
Oh, that's another one that the quacks do, the voodoo doll ritual.
Change lives.
That's what Texas Jules does for Zach.
The tool of superstition is actually a channel for spiritual energy deeply rooted in West African spirituality.
Dude, Zach and them do voodoo and witchcraft and sorcery and fake gematria. I mean, that's ridiculous. And necromancy and trying to bring people back from the dead.
And simply functioned as a direct link to the person they wish to influence. They used to serve to heal, protect, and strengthen loving bonds.
Fat Snitchard wants to revive, bring Block Boy back from the dead.
What began as a means of seeking harmony and spiritual connection was corrupted until it became a tool for cursing and revenge. The channeling of energy and obtaining peace were removed from the scene, and the ritual was
Dude, that
taken
rat
to other
motherfucker was his best friend that he snitched on.
curse,
And then the
harm,
guy
and devastate
died.
the lives of others.
From like probably some other people that Snitcher knows.
In Western cultures,
You know?
voodoo has often been demonized, and during the colonial era,
And he really just regrets it, and he wants to bring Block Boy back to life by doing gematria and necromancy. I mean, that's disgusting, bro. You're a fucking fat fucking snitch. That's ridiculous.
But what if right now you could summon a demon? Would you dare to invoke one of these dark beings with just a chalk circle and a few magic words? It sounds like something out of a movie, but the history of the Gosha ritual is steeped in mystery and danger. King Solomon,
Gosha
the
ritual?
wisest man in history, is said to have used this magic.
They're trying to do
build a temple in
King
Jerusalem.
Solomon rituals?
Yes,
I mean,
by summoning
really?
demons to erect a building. But of
Jesus
course, it's not all
Christ.
that simple, as each demon has its own agenda. Because of the sheer complexity of these rituals, they are both revered and feared for their power. The concept of summoning and commanding spirits is found in the magic of the Hellenistic period of Egypt, where spells and invocations were used to call upon gods, demons, and spirits for the darkest of purposes. The Ars Godia aims to teach how to summon these same demons using a system of sigils, incantations, and ritual tools. The intricate ritual process involves the following 5 steps. 1. A protective circle is drawn with divine names and a nearby triangle marking the spot where the summoned demon will appear. 2. Each demon in the Ars Gotia has a unique sigil that the magician must draw in order to focus the invocation. 3. The magician uses divine authority to recite a specific incantation that commands the demon to appear within the triangle.
You ever thought that might be what they're doing to you with their fake gematria, and like they're just not telling you what they're really doing?
And last but not least, number 5. Once the task is complete, the magician performs banishing rituals to safely dismiss the demon.
You know, all of those demons that they're talking about with those sigils, they have number correspondences. Like, they are part of, like, the same numbers that you guys are teaching. It's not that far-fetched to think that the quack is really super satanic. And the thing that they like to do is lie about gematria and say it's the Jesuits, and then the Jesuits are doing satanic gematria rituals, when it's actually them doing the gematria. It's like obvious, well, it's you doing gematria.
Escaping the constant persecution of the Catholic
I'm not saying gematria is inherently satanic,
The
but
beheading ritual is one of the most enigmatic and powerful rituals in Western occultism. Its origins
gematria is
trace back to
Hebrew.
the
That's what it
Greek magic
is.
papyri, a collection of ancient
Even
magic
King
texts
Solomon
from Rome,
knows
dating
fucking
from the 1st
gematria is
century BC
Hebrew.
to the 5th century AD. The ritual is designed to invoke the beheading, a mysterious and powerful
If you don't want to fulfill the prophecy of King Solomon's third temple being rebuilt, why are you doing satanic fucking King Solomon gematria rituals? Like, fuck out of here.
But like everything else, over time,
Seems like you're helping King Solomon rebuild the third temple with gematria.
and the Team cult founded by Aleister Crowley.
You're doing Aleister Crowley gematria? Look, here's one of his other cults.
Much more ambitious. To invoke the holy guardian angel, a key figure in
See, he's trying to summon spirits and demons and shit. Not spirits, but demons.
With the magician standing inside a protective magic circle where he recites a powerful invocation that summons the headless one, followed by a series of divine names.
The born headless ritual or some garbage that they do. Jesus Christ.
Symbols of a transcendental force that goes beyond the physical. But this is where things get complicated. The magician, in a bold act, asserts his dominion over the spirit realm, commanding spirits and entities to submit. Unbound by the human mind or ego, the headless one represents a connection to the divine and the infinite. And by identifying with it, the magician cleverly seeks to transcend his ordinary self and connect with a higher divine nature.
The headless one ritual, so you're pretending to be one of the headless horsemen of the apocalypse? Like, fuck out of here. What a joke.
Sabbath ritual.
What a bunch of stupid fucking slimy
Imagine a
occult
secret
fucking
meeting under the light
garbage.
of the moon where witches and sorcerers are believed to have congregated to worship the devil, cast spells, and engage in wild feasting and dancing. During the witch hunts in medieval Europe, Shabbat became a terrifying idea, a blasphemous inversion of Christian rituals with tales of deadly potions and orgies led by the devil himself, who was said to take on disturbing forms to attend. These tales served as fuel for witch trials, justifying torture and brutal executions. But here's the twist. Shabbat was more often than not a figment of the collective imagination than an actual practice, a mix of religious hysteria, superstition, and paranoia that meant anyone sitting on their front porch could easily find themselves accused. In fact, back then you could have been burned at the stake for something as trivial as keeping a black cat or brewing herbal medicine.
You should.
Hey, that won't seem so absurd if you've watched the channel's video on 10 reasons you'd be a witch in the
Just
Middle
kidding.
Ages.
Black cat. You can have a
Let's
black
get back
cat
to
and
chaos
make
magic.
herb medicine. That's not that
Magic
bad.
seems complicated and full of rules to you. Chaos magic is
Once
the
they start doing like Aleister Crowley gematria though, like
imagination.
then they should be
You don't need to
burned
adhere to any
in a
specific
crucible.
tradition, and you must use your beliefs as a tool to achieve your own desires. One of the most important pillars of this practice is the use of sigils, enigmatic symbols that seem to be taken from an alchemy book. The concept was developed by Austin Osman Spur, an eccentric artist who believed that our conscious mind is the worst enemy of our desires. According to him, the trick is to trick the subconscious. But how would this be done? Interestingly, Spur's method consisted of taking a statement of intentions such as I will find success and breaking it down into its component consonants.
Oh, they start doing gematria. Look.
These letters were then artistically combined and abstracted into a single symbol of drawing.
They start
The
doing
result would be a
gematria.
unique symbol that
Showed it,
which
but
is no longer recognizable as common language or words. This is very important, as it makes the sigil a form of communication with the subconscious without any
they're
interference
literally
from the
doing
rational
some weird
conscious mind.
gematria like ritual method.
Thus bypassing the obstacle of the conscious mind. Once the sigil is created, it is charged with energy through concentration or ritual and then fired into the unconscious mind. Then you have to forget about it completely. I had hoped that by letting the subconscious work without interference from the conscious, your desires would find their way into reality. But here's the most intriguing part. Sigils challenge the very concept of God's constructed reality.
This is actually a dope video for like them
By
using
overriding and
AI
altering your will, they manage
imagery.
to manipulate
like-
reality, and for this reason, many religions condemn their use as being very dangerous and spiritually corrupting. The Baphomet ceremony. Baphomet, an enigmatic figure with a goat's head, wings, and a body that combines the masculine and feminine, has been the object of fear, fascination, and misunderstanding for centuries. Although many associate him with Satanism, his meaning goes far beyond what it seems.
Baphomet gematria.
In esoteric traditions, Baphomet symbolizes the union of opposites, light and darkness, spirit and matter, absolute balance. The Baphomet ceremony, more than an act of devil worship, is a ritual of introspection and personal transformation. Surrounded by candles,
Unbelievable.
sigils,
They're
and
like
symbolic
selling you
altars,
the cult, the
participants recite
satanic
invocations
cult
designed
ritual
to
is like
evoke
a
the essence of Baphomet
like how
and
a
search
cult
for
would do.
knowledge,
They're like it's a
balance, and enlightenment.
spiritual enlightenment
It is an
movement.
experience that blends the spiritual and philosophical rather than the sinister. However, its symbolism remains highly controversial. Wrongly associated with demonic practices, the figure of Baphomet has been condemned by many traditional religions as blasphemous, but for those who understand its true meaning, thanks to videos like this one, it represents something much deeper.
Huh? 7 levels of the internet? That might be interesting. A terrifying conspiracy. The Delta Project. The iceberg of Satanism.
Satanism is used as a horror resource in multiple movies, games.
Why was the
among many
quack
other
trying to
media.
defend Satanism? He was like, Satanism's not as bad as Christianity.
Throughout history, strange events.
Dude, I think Satanism is disgusting. That shit crosses the line. Like, they just think that you're just do as thou wilt. You just do whatever you want.
And welcome to.
As long as it has like the maximum harm to you and everyone around you, like they're like, yeah, just that's what you should do. The origins of the Sephiroth and the Tree of Life. That might be interesting.
Over 200 kids every single day.
Dude, can you imagine that Quacky had a baby, like they shipped a baby in from Myanmar so that they could pretend to be a teacher at a school? Like, unbelievable. That's disgusting. They let these fucking satanics around kids, like, unfucking believable. Aren't Satanists the ones that are most likely to, like, have the children go missing and, like, found in the woods or some shit? Jesus Christ. They let the quack fucking, like, export a baby from a UN program to fucking, like, get closer to the kids and pretend he's like a kindergarten teacher
circular nodes and
teaching gematria. Like, fucking unbelievable. That's disgusting.
Geometry.
That's fucking disgusting as fuck.
Hidden metaphysics of the divine nature and its connection to our realm. The Sephiroth, or divine emanations, continue to be the source of intense meditation, speculation, magical practice, and have long since entered into the occult and hermetic imagination of Western esotericism more generally. While perhaps one of the most enduring symbols of the Kabbalah, the origins of the Sphirot as a concept in the history of Jewish mysticism remains shrouded in mystery. In this episode, I want to reach back into the obscure origins of the Kabbalah itself.
Yeah, don't trust these occultist people, like, especially if you have kids. You know what they do? They look for your kids, and then once they find out you have kids, then they try to teach you fake gematria. And then one of the other gematria is like, I have some mushrooms or something. And then one of the other gematrias, before you know it, they try to, like, compromise you with fucking, like, whatever. Like, they'll fucking they would give, like, fentanyl to, like, a mom and to take the kid, pretty much. That's how they operate. First they start with, like, gematria, then they give you like, they say microdose on shrooms, and then the next thing you know, the quack is, like, frauding you with the fucking, like, the crack fucking cult. That's how it works, and then they snatch the kids. There was even a picture of an Itachi, like, torturing someone that looked like a mom. There was, like, a weird picture of, like, a beat-up woman that was, like, the quack Tachi from Zachary K. Hubbard's best friend was, like posting all the time, and it was, like, it looked like he just had, like, drugged her and raped her or something, but it's probably even more sinister than that because they probably took the kids.
True divine emanations and the Kabbalistic tree of life.
I'm not really sure about that one, but it looked like highly diabolical, and fucking it was like after he was like fucking like doing hella blow and teaching gematria. Super weird shit, man. And then the other one is like turned into a full-blown witch doing voodoo and shit. I don't know, dude. I think it's a satanic cult, the gematria. That's just that's my opinion, but there's no way you could prove to me otherwise. I'm not convinced. The only thing I think that you guys are doing is satanic fucking fake gematria, Aleister Crowley garbage.
They are hidden or at least obscured by nature and sometimes willfully made.
And necromancy and voodoo and calling it gematria.
Very rarely are ideas as complex as the Sphirot simply born all at once.
It's not even scary either. Like, they try to intimidate you and scare you with it. They're like, ooh, ooh, don't you see all the murder codes?
Centuries of development and interpretation.
No, it's not impressive. It's stupid. It doesn't do anything. It builds nothing. It's just nothing. It's garbagey. It's like making trash in the woods. You're just doing fucking, you're just like a bum that lives in the woods and leaves trash everywhere. You're just destroying nature. Doing satanic gematria and satanic Buddha yoga in the fucking woods with like littering hella trash It's basically like destroying the earth. You know?
Formation where the term
When you're taking animal bones and human bones and drinking blood and putting everything out of order of nature, and you're like chanting and running around high out of your mind in the woods, creating garbage and trashing the woods, you're really destroying nature. You're like actually destroying the world. You're harming the earth. Dude, even the fucking, you know what the spirits are that probably start attacking them when they do it? It's probably the Native Americans. They're like, dude, you people are so fucked, we're gonna fuck your shit. And then they're all fucked.
Something like without what? So something like Spherot of.
And then the normies from society and the Christians and like volunteer groups have to go clean up your garbage.
Once and otherwise completely.
And put it back where it's supposed to go.
We're off to a really unclear start here. While no one really understands.
Do you guys think gematria is destroying the earth, like trying to manifest the prophecies of like the Armageddon? I do. What if you just put the gematria back in the box? What if you threw away the gematria? What if you just got rid of the prophecy in the Messiah?
My guess, not that it really matters, is that the Sefer Yetzirah thinks of the 10 Sefirot as numerical.
Dude, I think they should start rounding up witches again online. You know, all these witches online. They should have a fucking anti-gematria, like, witch hunt inquisition against fucking fake gematria online and, like, literally round them up and deal with them the same way they used to. The same exact way.
Counting, I think, is quite conspicuous. Though, note, what Sefer Yetzirah never claims the Sefirot are. At this earliest stage of the development of the concept, the Sefirot do not appear to be divine emanations.
And they should start with Hubbard.
That idea seems to appear a few centuries later, specifically in the Iyun, or the speculation circle, and most importantly in the Sefer HaBahir, or the Book of Brightness. The Iyun circle, which most recent scholarship locates in southern France in the 13th century, seems to have held that they were.
Oh, look, so the Kabbalah is from all of this Hebrew.
Corresponding rather logically, if you ask me, to the traditional attributes of God.
Interesting.
These 13 powers, as they're called in the Iyun circle.
Dude, I am not anti-Semitic. Like, I swear to God, like, I'm not even anti any group of people. But like,
Contemporary text to say for
I'm only saying that to point out that these people that are from the occult are lying about gematria.
Although the text there tends to prefer to call them ma'amarot, or sayings, in this idea.
Look, this Kabbalah concept, the tree of life concept, is from Hebrew. It's from Jewish. It's not from Aleister Crowley, actually. It doesn't come. Aleister Crowley is not a source of the Kabbalah. Like, I'm sorry, or gematria, it's not. Gematria existed in Hebrew for 2,500 years before a Jesuit or the English itself or a Pope or any of them existed. That's a fact.
That attempting to derive a systematic account of the sphere.
Also, English evolved from a bunch of other languages, and Hebrew is not one of them, by the way. Hebrew is not in English, and English evolved from a bunch of other languages. It wasn't created by the Jesuits. Whoever's telling you that is lying to you. Anybody that's saying that the Jesuits, when they made the language and the calendar, they're lying. That's not how English came about being. English didn't just, like, one day the Jesuit popped it out of their wazoo. English is, like, evolved from, like, other languages.
His spiritual and philosophical side were amazingly keen.
That like predates the Jesuits.
David, also known as the Ravad.
There's no Jesuits.
To the emergent Aristotelian-informed Maimonidean philosophy.
Even the Pope is actually against gambling. Like, they're not in on it, like, for the gambling. They're not fucking gambling.
Persuading evidence of some type of rabbinical esotericism in the generation of the Ravad, which seems to have to do with specific.
The only gambling that they actually do, I looked it up, the Jesuits,
or the Holy Spirit.
It might deceive you, like when you come across this research, that you might be deceived by it. But it does say that they did have some type of like raffling systems and like playing bingo for raising money for the Jesuits, but overall they're against gambling. Like they're not, it's not the Jesuits aren't like the leaders of running all of the gambling. They're not it's not a gambling cult.
Specifically from the Book of Chronicles. And it's here for the first time.
The Pope came out, the new one, the new Pope came out against gambling.
Respective names and the scheme of emanation.
They said gambling destroys the soul.
Linear columns of right, center, and left.
Gambling addiction is destructive to the human soul, is what the Pope said.
History of esoteric.
The Pope isn't rigging the gambling with gematria. The Pope said that the gambling is destructive for the human spirit.
Another of the earliest depictions is a kind of.
That's a fact. That's like not. It's not debatable. You can't. The premise of you debating against the Pope can't be like that. He's like rigging all the gambling. That doesn't even make sense.
Position showing that even in a generation of Cordovero, after the
gambling is a sin.
The Sephiroth continued to be quite dynamic. Both of these schemes, the Eights of Simon Tree of Life scheme and the nested scheme, are just meant to depict different modes by which the Sephiroth come into being and interact with one another.
You guys don't even fucking understand. Well, you guys, some of you guys do, but I know Space Monkey gets it, but you guys don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Popular, but we shouldn't think of metaphysical truth as being decided by a popularity contest. In some of his writings, Saki Nahor will describe the coming...
The reason I really liked the Esoterica videos is because they're the most legit esoteric research regarding all of this stuff than anyone else. Like there's no other... there's no conspiracy theorist channel that even got it right at all. Like none of them.
From birth, as is traditionally held, that his written works absolutely abound in light, flame.
Yeah, I'm looking at this like these old Kabbalah Tree of Life like diagrams in Hebrew, and I swear to God, none of it has the 4 ciphers. I looked. I'm looking at it right now. There's not 4. It's in Hebrew, and it doesn't have 4 ciphers in English. Like seriously.
Darkness of no thingness. Further, Isaac also pushes the metaphysical drama of the emergence of the Sphirot further back into the process of ontological causation. While in the Sefer Yetzirah, the Sphirot are modes by which...
All of this stuff isn't even primarily about the numbers. It's primarily about the knowledge of like whatever the...
fully fuses both concepts...
all the different concepts are. It's like charting out all the different types of concepts of reality, but it's not really actually mostly about the numbers. The numbers are just there to help you like use the chart. Like that's the only reason they have the numbers.
This is accomplished in a positively ingenious...
The numbers are just there for you to be able to reference easier on the chart.
Creation myth as not the creations of the heavens and the earth.
It doesn't mean like they're teaching you that those numbers mean all those specific things. It's just that
of the divine as such.
There happens to be numbers in the world thanks to like whatever Islamic or whatever, and like
this mystical commentary, perhaps more than
they just apply the numbers to help with understanding
of that most foundational text of Kabbalah.
The numbers are neutral though. Like the numbers don't mean necessarily all the things that you claim they mean just because it was on a Kabbalah chart.
In the metaphysical hermeneutic of
they could just as easily make that chart Kabbalah chart with the numbers going different ways.
Vast metaphysical dynamism.
What if they got the number correlation spots wrong on the Kabbalah chart? You know what I mean? What if they put the 8 where the 2 was supposed to go? Or what if it's all wrong?
To denote these texts as among the first truly Kabbalistic.
What if you were using a 5 and a 6 when you were supposed to be using a 4 and a 2?
Kabbalistic ideas to a very strict circle of disciples and then spreading those disciples to the nascent Kabbalists of places like Girona in Spain, Isaac the Blind was furious that his and other Kabbalistic teachers were being written down.
Yeah, no, there's no gematria in the Kabbalah. That's
Written
ridiculous.
down cannot be just hidden in a cupboard. That it was only a matter of time.
Well, there is, but it's all in Hebrew. All the Hebrew is gematria, but there's no. Let me correct myself. There's no fake gematria in the Kabbalah. From the Kabbalah, fake gematria is not from the Kabbalah. If it was from the Kabbalah, it would have to be in the Kabbalah.
The second cradle of Kabbalah outside of Provence before the great maturation in Castile.
Look, this is the Kabbalah. Look.
Unlike Isaac the Blind, or better, Sagi Nahor, who seemed to have inherited his...
It's like all in Hebrew, and it doesn't even have any numbers.
The first Kabbalist who will seek to explore the Sphirot system as developed by Sagi Nahor under the aegis of the Neoplatonic infused Aristotelianism of his day. Among the most interesting works of Azrael of Girona is something akin to an early Kabbalistic catechism in which he writes in question and answer form. Here he introduces and develops another core concept in the history of Kabbalah, along with the Sphirot and the Tree of Life, that of Ein Sof, or the eternal, the infinite nothingness of which no knowledge is possible and from which all divinity and being flow. In his analysis, Ein Sof is an infinite realm.
You know how many different versions of the Kabbalah there is, by the way? Like, unbelievable, the Kabbalah. It's from the Kabbalah, quack.
In which was, part by part, activated into being. Here, God doesn't engage in creatio ex nihilo, or creation from nothing, an idea repugnant to Aristotle and taken to be as nonsensical to Rabbi Azrael, but rather being flows from an infinite recess of potentiality only to be activated by the divine through the unfolding of the Sphirot and eventually, well, our cosmos. Azrael proceeds question by answer through the various Sphirot, their ranks, their orders, and the process of procession itself. Considering how early this text is in the history of Kabbalah, it is breathtaking in its systematic presentation of such a difficult concept, and indeed sets the stage not only for the maturing Kabbalah as it will appear.
Yeah, look. What do you mean when you say the gematria is from the Kabbalah? Because I'm looking it up.
And the later systematic accounts of
it says the term Kabbalah refers to a unified system of Jewish mysticism rather than a countable number of distinct entities. However, it is practiced, interpreted, and categorized in many different ways. Here's a breakdown of the different ways to understand, quote, how many there are. 1. The types of Kabbalah.
If you want to explore
Experts often break down Kabbalah into different eras or types, with recent analysis outlining 12 distinct types. Israelite prophecy, one Israelite prophecy, considered by some as early Jewish mysticism. 2. Merkavah mysticism, focused on traveling through celestial chambers. 3. Medieval Kabbalah, the classical form, including the Zohar.
in Hebrew and English.
4. Lurianic Kabbalah, the 16th century teachings of Isaac Luria.
Hey, thanks to Safaria.
You got 5. Hasidism, the 18th century popularization and internal focus.
Of his commentary on Sefer Yetzirah.
Academic study, the modern critical study of these texts. Contemporary Orthodox mysticism, continued traditional practice, non-denominational Jewish mysticism, blended with modern approaches, Ashlog-inspired organizations, 20th century movements, example the Kabbalah Centre. Christian Kabbalah, 15th century Christian interpretations of the Jewish Kabbalah. An occultist Kabbalah, Western Hermetic and magical traditions. Example, Aleister Crowley and Satanism Kabbalah. New Age spiritual Kabbalah, modern universalist interpretations. That's what you guys are. That's the last one. That's like the cult. That's the occult. That describes your cult. I mean, that's what you are. You're the fucking New Age spiritualist, Kabbalist. Like, fuck out of here. My gematria is from the Kabbalah. Quack. Anyways, that should make sense. Unfucking believable, the fucking quacks. Gematria is from the Kabbalah. Every forbidden occult symbol.
Appears in the Bible as a symbol of idolatry among the
Star of Remphan.
The worship of false gods like Saturn and Moloch. The god Saturn is linked to the worship of time, control, death, decay, and restriction. In Roman mythology, he was the god of agriculture and harvest, known as Kronos in Greek myths, often depicted as an old man with a sickle. His rules symbolized the golden age of abundance and also brought by time. But the cult of Saturn predates Rome and Greece, tracing back to Mesopotamia, Babylon, and Sumer, where he was linked to deities like Enlil, representing creation and destruction. In Egypt, Saturn was connected to Osiris, symbolizing the cycle of life, death, order, and chaos. In Rome, the festival of Saturnalia celebrated...
Oh, so all roads don't lead to Rome. There was stuff before Rome.
Saturn was also feared as the devourer, consuming his children to maintain...
The Star of Rephaim predates Rome.
An ancient evil Canaanite deity associated with...
All roads doesn't lead to Rome.
Portrayed with a bull's head with
not everything is Roman.
The Star of Remphan
Gematria is not even Roman.
Head inside a six-pointed
Gematria didn't come from Rome.
Rempha, representing Saturn's planetary spirits in the alphabet of the Magi. Moses warned the Israelites against it, calling it pagan worship.
Look.
743 in the Bible recounts.
Look, it has Gematria right there.
Before his martyrdom,
oh, they just showed
the Israelites for worshipping the star of your god Remphan, Amos 5:26, which similarly accuses them of idol worship. In various biblical translations, the Hebrew equivalent Chiyun is thought to refer to Saturn, the god of the planet Saturn in ancient Near Eastern mythology. Some scholars believe the star represents the planet itself or an idol linked to it. Notably, the planet Saturn has a hexagonal cloud pattern at its north pole. The Star of Remphan is often tied to Babylonian influence and the broader issue of celestial worship, which was forbidden in Mosaic law. The black cube is a powerful occult symbol linked to the god Saturn, representing time, control, and esoteric knowledge. Often depicted as a solid black hexagonal cube, it appears in major cities worldwide, symbolizing dominion and the connection between ancient and modern traditions. A speculative theory ties the black cube to the idea that Saturn was once a dark sun, the original light source of Earth, before shifting to its current planetary state and causing upheaval. In the ancient language Sanskrit, Saturn is called Asita, meaning something like black-colored or dark. This connection extends to religious practices. Judaism's Tefillin, Islam's Kaaba, and the 7 circumambulations during Hajj, which some link to Saturn's 7 rings.
Dude, why did the quacks try to lie about all this stuff out of religion, from religion?
In Christianity, Saturday, named after Saturn, is a day of rest, reflecting on time's influence. Historically, Saturn worship included rituals and sacrifices meant to maintain cosmic balance, reinforcing its dual nature as a force of creation and destruction. Even today,
The quack says none of this stuff exists, it's just the Jesuits are doing gematria. That's what the quack claims.
Passage of time. The sigil of Quran
Babylon doesn't exist, fucking Egypt doesn't exist, Syria doesn't exist, like nothing exists. Nothing, Israel doesn't exist, it's just all the Jesuits. Like Africa doesn't exist, Europe doesn't exist, Spain doesn't exist. It's just the Jesuits are everywhere. The Jesuits are coming, you guys.
Hidden in the symbol, embodying chaotic water energy, fear, and the creation of abominations.
Symbol of
Sources
Chorazan.
claim the 333 is simply the Hebrew numerical value of Choronzon's name. Choronzon is a hungry
So
demon that
triple
first appeared in
three in fake gematria means this fucking demon god Choronzon, a fucking
becoming central to
the sigil of Choronzon. It's from Aleister Crowley's Thelema, really. They're doing gematria, really, but the quacks will lie to you and say that 333 means some other shit.
The unworthy into many pieces.
It means the Jesuits, according to the quack.
Choronzon is the blood-stained guardian of the abyss, wielding 333 razor-sharp blades, allowing only those fully committed to darkness to pass. The sigil itself is associated with the Temple of
Look,
Ra,
it's like gematria, look.
US-based sect linked to the Order of the Nine and neo-Nazi ideologies. The mark of the beast is a symbol close.
I got my gematria from Aleister Crowley, quack. Unfucking believable.
Thelemic philosophy. Designed as his personal sigil, it merges thelemic and solar phallic symbolism, embodying.
Really, they merged thelemic and solar phallic symbolism?
The design features the ancient sun sign, the emblem of the moon, and
Dude, you can't take these conspiracy theorists seriously. This is ridiculous. They literally just lie about all this stuff.
The seven-pointed star of Babylon is central to the symbol, representing the Great Mother and the Divine Feminine in Thelema.
They're like, no, we're teaching this stuff. Well, yeah, like, it's unbelievable. Yeah, you're teaching it. You sure are. I mean, you're being a super duper fraud teaching that shit. You're trying to teach that to kids? I mean, really?
Beast mentioned in the Bible. The seal of Babylon, or Iwas sigil, is a powerful symbol
Look, the
used in
seal of
Hebrew
Babylon.
rituals to invoke or communicate with Iwas. The entity Crowley claimed dictated the Book of the Law.
This is how they communicate in gematria.
Associated with the goddess Babylon, who represents the feminine principle, often depicted as the Great Mother, Scarlet Woman, or Mother of Abominations. The symbol features a heptagram, the seven-pointed star that represents Babylon's feminine essence, drawing on the mysticism of seven as a sacred, passive, and feminine number. In the Book of Lies, Crowley
The Book of Lies? You trust the Book of Lies? I mean, really? It's called the Book of Lies. You're gonna trust that as like your Bible or what? I got my gematria from Aleister Crowley's The Book of Lies. He taught me how to lie about gematria.
The number associated with Babylon in Thelema. Babylon's consort is Chaos, the father of life, representing.
Wouldn't you question that? I mean, Space Monkey, if you're still in the chat, like, wouldn't you question that? You're like, really? The book's called the Book of Lies, and it's like some type of Aleister Crowley Bible or some sort? Like, what is it? Is it an Aleister Crowley Bible? I mean, it's called the Book of Lies. Are you gonna go by that? Like,
they added a surrounding trapezoid. 3 6s from
the Book of the Law, where they change the law. Like, they're like, the law is just whatever you want.
Seen as the perfect form, while the inverted pentagram, broken at the bottom, symbolized an open gateway for evil. The Order of the Trapezoid later became the Church of Satan's governing body.
Oh my God, really? The satanic trapezoid? How come the quack doesn't teach about all this evil, all this evil in the world? This is the actual evil that's in the world. Like, how come the quack says it's the Jesuits?
Grimoire on dark goetic sorcery. It is used in demonology to summon or work with Astaroth. A
Yeah, the seal of Astaroth.
Alongside Lucifer and Beelzebub. Originally derived from the Phoenician goddess Astarte, Astaroth embodies corrupted wisdom, deceit, and spiritual corruption. His sigil is employed in rituals to invoke his influence, often associated with temptation, lust, manipulation, and the erosion of faith. The sigil of Nama represents a demoness from Jewish mythology, often linked to seduction and sexuality in modern occult practices and referred to as the Queen of Demons.
Unbelievable. That's a
Inscribed in the
goofy ass
Kabbalistic
satanic
Zohar,
symbol.
she seduced
Unbelievable.
men and angels, birthing Asmodeus, the king of demons, and countless demonic offspring. Alongside Lilith, another demon said to be Adam's first wife, Nama was said to bring plagues upon mankind and corrupt the angels Uzzah and Azazel, who were part of the group of angels known as the Watchers. Nama was believed to conceive demons from men's desires in their dreams, passing them to Lilith to raise. The mark of Chaim is a sigil tied to Luciferian and left-hand path traditions, representing Cain as a figure of rebellion, forbidden knowledge, and spiritual exile. It embodies the paradox of his curse, both punishment and protection, aligning with themes of enlightenment through adversity. In occult circles, his crime against Abel is sometimes seen as a symbolic act of breaking from or challenging divine order to pursue personal enlightenment or power. There is no universal symbol of the mark of Chaim, and it can vary greatly depending on the tradition. But misanthropic satanic left-hand path traditions like the Temple of the Black Light use a specific sigil.
Dude, they should eradicate this type of stuff from society. I mean, this is ridiculous. They should. My opinion is radical. Like, I don't want to go to war with other countries for politics and religion and stuff like that. I think all the countries should bind together and go to war within their own countries against their own citizens that are practicing the occult garbage. Anybody they catch doing gematria or like some type of occult ritual garbage should be exercised and what do they call it? Inquisitioned.
Saturn corresponds to
That's what I think.
Symbolizing structure, limitation, and understanding. But
what would you do to fix the world, to like change the world for the better, to eliminate the most amount of evil? You would go around and round up all the people practicing the occult. I mean, you know,
time, limitation, and karma.
That's what they should do.
Connects once again to the Roman god Saturn, ruler of agriculture, time, and wealth. Yet, across various esoteric traditions, Saturn...
They should get rid of all the occultists.
A cosmic force shaping the material world under different names, like Kronos in Greek mythology and Shani in Hinduism, always embodying his role as both a ruler over death and...
Dude, they shouldn't allow any of these cults.
Medieval alchemists and magicians used it to invoke Saturn's energies.
They should use like they should use like they should put neural links in people that try to dabble with the occult too much. If they start trying to like become like Aleister Crowley and the AI detects it, they should fucking put a neural link in your brain and get rid of you. Like, you know what I mean? Neutralize your brain. That's what I think. Fuck all these conspiracy theories. They should use the Mark of the Beast technology on the quacks. That's what I think. They should round them up like it's an inquisition and treat them like the same exact way what they used to do to like witches during the Salem witch trials, but like just do it with the fucking gematrians and the occultists online. Anybody that's trying to start a little yoga fucking occult. I'm not saying doing yoga. You could do yoga, but like, if it's like a cult, if they're doing gematria, I mean...
The German occult order Fraternitas Saturni openly embraces Saturnian mysteries featuring the
there's German cults that use the seal of Saturn?
Little is known about their inner workings. Some traditions consider Saturn the hidden master, the force behind deeper mysteries. The demiurge symbol is used in darker Gnostic traditions to represent...
They should completely eliminate anything that's like occultic out of the government. I agree with that.
Serpent with a lion's head. He embodies both wisdom and deception, dominion and spiritual imprisonment. The celestial symbols surrounding him highlight the illusion of divine authority.
What do you mean, Cuts? The government does all this occult garbage. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. They should get rid of it.
The demiurge represents a false creator trapping souls.
You're not going to get rid of it by doing more of it, though. You just have to get rid of it.
To transcend the material world.
You can't, like, do occult rituals on top of occult rituals and say your ritual is better and fucking... no, you just gotta quit doing the occult ritual.
Underworld where souls journey after death. Discovered in 1963 in Teotihuacan's Pyramid of the Sun, this basaltic rock disc dates.
They should replace the word ritual with routine and just have like positive routine instead of doing fucking satanic gematria Aleister Crowley rituals all day.
The halo-like structure on top may represent the sun setting and rising.
Dude, even if the government was doing gematria, they need to stop doing gematria. Like, that's what we need to do. We need to stop them from doing gematria. You can't just do more gematria and then expect them to stop. If you're doing gematria, why are they going to stop doing gematria? You just have to stop them from doing gematria, you know? If you want to fix the world.
Some believe the disc was part of death rituals, symbolizing the brutal reality of sacrifice, the afterlife's inevitability, and the ceaseless hunger of the Aztec gods for blood and souls. The Kabbalistic tree of life is a central diagram in Jewish mysticism, representing the structure of divine attributes, the universe, and human consciousness.
So the Kabbalistic tree of life itself is like
each symbolizing a different
basically a satanic sigil.
And connected to 22 paths that map out
Unbelievable.
between them.
Look, this is what the quacks teach. This is what the quacks pretend that they teach, which they actually don't.
At the top, symbolizing divine will, down to Malkut at the bottom, representing.
They're like teaching you the Killapoth and telling you it's the tree of life, and you're like, you're a dumb American, you don't know any better. You're like, oh yeah, Kabbalah. Kabbalah, Kabbalah, Kabbalah. That sounds legit. That sounds kind of magical.
Known as the tree of death.
Yeah, the tree of death. They're selling you the tree of death and calling it the tree of life, and they're like, we're gematria.
But in a corrupted form, embodying spiritual darkness. Some traditions associate.
Look, so the tree of death is the one that has the numbers on it that you claim.
In spiritual development. While the Sephiroth
The tree of life just has Hebrew on it. The tree of death is when they start doing the gematria on the tree of life. That's the tree of death. The tree of death is the tree of life, but when they start translating the Hebrew into the gematria, that's the fucking tree of death.
Occult practitioners use the tree of life for meditation and personal insight, while those working with the Clypot explore.
Yeah, the ones. Look. Let me pause this. Hold on, that's too perfect.
Light and dark, order and chaos.
Look at this. Look.
Fragmented destruction. Explore the darker aspects of.
So I want to show this real quick. So he's saying occult practitioners use the tree of life, spiritual enlightenment, and good. However, the dark, the Quillapoth, and the tree of life symbol is like the Kabbalah on a tree, and then they show the Quillapoth, and it's like the Kabbalah with the gematria. I swear to fucking God. Unfucking real. Unbelievable. Fuck out of here. You're teaching the gematria. Yeah, but the gematria you're teaching is the tree of death. That's not the tree of life. That's the Killapoth one with the gematria.
Existence. The tree as a whole represents the balance of opposites.
I hope that makes sense.
Chaos, divine unity, and fragmented destruction.
They don't want to actually teach you what the Kabbalah actually is in Hebrew. No, they want to teach you the fucking Killapoth from Aleister Crowley.
symbolizing dominion over both celestial and earthly.
Oh look,
realms.
here's their boy
Greek records
Abraxas.
inscribed on some
That
depictions
fucking coward.
translate
I think
to
Abraxas was a
eternal
coward.
reinforcing his role as
That fool was
president.
hella cowardly. He was like, I don't want to be on a stream. I don't want to be on a video. Don't show my face. He's like,
Jesus was a ghost
I'm
sent to
Abraxas.
Earth by Abraxas.
I do
Abraxas
fucking
is
gematria rap
365,
songs.
representing the days of the year
Quack.
heavens ruled by him as the great Archon, the supreme builder of the physical universe in Gnostic belief. Amulets and seals featuring Abraxas, known as Abraxas stones, were used in the 2nd century as protective charms, with the 7-letter name potentially corresponding to the 7 classical planets. Abraxas also appeared on the seal of the 10.
Yeah, but Abraxas is also in a fucking satanic cult that like eats babies basically and does fucking weird rituals and robes in the woods. Literally.
Despite his prominence in Gnostic thought, the Catholic Church branded Abraxas a pagan deity and later a demon. He is also referred to as the supreme god of the Basilidians, a Gnostic sect deemed heretical. Nero's cross.
Dude, I would rather go to a church any day than fucking, like, I don't even like going to churches and I don't really do it, but like, I would rather go to a church than go to like one of these demon fucking rituals in the woods. Like, I've been to one of them before. That shit's fucked up, dude. Their shit's so fucked up, it's like dirty.
Who ordered the crucifixion of Saint Peter,
They're like trashing the forest. They're like destroying the nature. That's what they do.
This led to the association of the inverted cross with anti-Christian symbolism.
It's not the Christians and the Jesuits destroying nature, it's the satanics destroying nature in the woods. Like they're harming and killing animals. They're doing it to like underage, like they're inducting and doing it with underage. They're fucking like, dude, they're fucking scum. They leave trash and garbage and fucking they drink blood and spill it around and fucking, dude, these fucking cult motherfuckers are fucking straight fucking scum. They're the ones that run all the dark web shit.
Believed to symbolize power over others, particularly through its connection to death and forbidden practices. According to old European beliefs, the hand of glory.
They're the ones that all the crooked royal elite like secretly do the practicing of.
Make a candle, and when lit and placed in the hand, it was said to paralyze anyone in its presence and open any door. The symbol is depicted in the Petit Albert, an 18th century occult grimoire on Kabbalistic magic. Today, variations of the Hand of Glory are sometimes used as tattoos within occult circles.
They call themselves the consumer
my
attorneys of California, but they're not for consumers. They're
Fucking attorney ads.
the downtown under criminal investigation for allegedly paying people for false sex abuse claims against Los Angeles County. A $4 billion settlement.
Why can't they investigate gambling fraud based out of Prosser, Washington? Like, I don't get it.
Stop the billboard lender scam. Fight back. ProtectCaliforniaConsumers.com.
That's how you know the occult is like embedded in the government. They allow quackery to fucking do the fake gematria, like gambling fraud out of Washington state. I mean, really?
Period of high scholasticism, beginning at the very beginning of the mid-12th century, was much more complicated in how it dealt with the practice of magic, even how it dealt with the practice of something like necromancy, a crime at that time.
Yeah, necromancy should be a crime. If you're doing necromancy on your YouTube channel and calling it gematria, you should be rounded the fuck up, like straight the fuck up. If the government was like worth a lick of shit, they could stop the gambling fraud and fucking round up the necromancers saying it's gematria.
Claimed that he was inspired in all fields of knowledge and experienced in the magical arts. And indeed, a generation after him, Johannes de Beck famously declared that Albertus Magnus was great in necromancy, greater in philosophy, the greatest still.
You know, the thing is about gematria, it's just like farts. Whoever smelt it dealt it. Like, whoever's doing the gematria is the one that's like dealing the gematria and dealing in gematria. It's not the other way around. Just because you do gematria and you accuse people of doing gematria that you're doing, it doesn't mean that it's not you. It's probably coming from you. Whoever smelt it dealt it. Gematria.
And perhaps even most shocking, his own interactions and experimentations with
You guys ever heard that saying that applies to farts? That's a perfect metaphor for gematria. Whoever smelt it dealt it.
Magic reveal about just how complicated the relationship between Christianity.
You're a gematria dealer sniffing out gematria. I mean, you probably sniff fucking gematria asshole. Like, you probably put your nose in the ass in the morning and smell gematria. You probably fucking put gematria bunghole in your tea and turn it into gematria coffee. I mean, fuck out of here. Fucking scumbags. They're like, I smell fresh gematria this morning. Some bunch of kids died. Quack.
Dr. Justin Sledge, and welcome to Esoterica, where we explore the arcane in history,
That's disgusting.
philosophy, and religion.
You should pull the gematria dildo out of your butthole, fucking Zachary, you fucking weirdo, fucking clown. I don't even want to start flashing on the quacks. I was trying to have a much more peaceful type stream where we could really like get into the more of the research.
Probably born in the decade.
It's crazy though. The only person that seems to understand what I'm saying that's not sleeping right now is Space Monkey.
A touch of privilege. Educated in Aristotle at Padua, he'd become a Dominican in the 1220s, and he began lecturing both at the most prestigious theological institution in Europe.
Next time I confront the quack, I'm gonna be like, "Did you smell some gematria this morning, Zachary?"
During this time, he became the teacher of none less than Thomas Aquinas, one of the greatest luminaries the West has ever produced. Among numerous other brilliant students, he would begin to compose commentaries on virtually all of the works of Aristotle with the aid of the great Muslim philosophers, especially influencing him were.
We're not doing the evil gematria. We're trying to expose the evildoers that are doing gematria. Quack!
That great Standardite, completing the works of Aristotle. Albert would rise through the ranks of his order. He would be sent on peace delegations, both sacred and secular, and he would help to found the great University of Cologne, still standing hundreds of years later in that city. He would rise to the ranks of
Dude, I hope the quack never does a soapbox ever again, or if he does, they get fucking quack his ass out. Right there on the spot. They just do a Salem witch trial on his ass real quick and throw him in the gutter, like into the gutter in the sewer.
Medieval human knowledge.
Just do it real quick, like he fell in there.
He would outlive many of the students he would pass from this world on the 15th of November.
If the quack ever does a soapbox gematria, fucking demon summoning garbage ever again, pounding pavement as they claim. You know, even the language they use is all deceptive lies. Like for example, the quack saying that. And if anybody doesn't know, comes in here late and you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, the quack, he's a fake gematria teacher. His name's Zachary K. Hubbard. I call him Quackery because his name's Zachary and he's a fucking quack. And he sounds exactly like Zachary, but it's just Quackery because he's a quack. So the quack, yeah, when they go fucking soapboxing next time, I mean, someone should shut him down.
Buried in otherwise extremely difficult scholastic philosophy, as if you wanted to wade through all that to get an off-the-cuff.
I don't think the quack's ever gonna pound pavement ever again. I think he's like, you can't be going out and frauding people. And like, what are you gonna do? You're either gonna bring your baby or you're gonna leave your baby behind to go fraud random people online. That's not really a good idea. It's not safe for your baby. I don't think the quack is ever going to go pound pavement ever again.
The conjuration of spirits than say his more strictly philosophical or scientific works. Thus, theology might bury
I think
that
the gematria
subtlety
is going to
of
backfire on the quack
present in
one of
other
these
words,
days.
which in turn otherwise greatly lessens a stricture on occult practice. What's really clearly condemned in the theological work is going to have a bit more wiggle room in one of the scientific or philosophical ones. Thus, a blanket condemnation on spirit conjuration in his early commentaries on the sentences of Peter Lombard is significantly retracted or at least tweaked, perhaps sometimes even reversed by his own confession in, for instance, his commentary on Aristotle's De Anima, as we'll see. Finally, there are a range of texts attributed to Albert, from alchemical treatises to diabolical grimoires, which have accumulated over the centuries. Now, some of these texts
Dude, I've looked at so many of these videos that are like this, and like I have yet to find the source of the gematria in the Kabbalah.
Others are as wonderful as they are completely spurious and fraudulent, produced centuries after Albert's death. Thus,
there is a lot of stories of these occultics being frauds, though. Like they're literally like get designated as frauds, and they are frauds.
Letting his scientific and philosophical dimension often temper his more sacred strictness or strictures before.
Well, what do you mean, Cuts? What would not be a fraud? Just don't lie about it.
Ultimately produce his legacy as
if you're dabbling and studying the occult and doing research, that's all you're doing. That's all it is. It's just historical occult research. It's like you're not supposed to start doing it. You're not supposed to try to take that stuff into the future. That's not like part of the future. We don't need fucking old 1,000-year-old fucking occult garbage anymore. You can just research it and study it and look at it for what it actually is and not have to. Dude, unless you're like 100 years old and you're still fucking doing all this shit, like you shouldn't be doing it. Can you learn about it? Yeah, sure. I'm not trying to take away the fucking the esoteric histology or whatever, historyology or whatever the fuck.
A term most often associated exactly.
Yeah, what it actually is. That's true. That is true. Thanks, Space Monkey.
After Albert's death, but even around Albert's time.
What do you mean, Cuts? What is the real ideology then? What do you mean, quack? Well, just don't lie about it. Just don't lie about it. You can look at history, you can look up the occult, you can learn about Aleister Crowley and all this stuff, but you don't have to like personify, you don't have to start pretending that you're Aleister Crowley. I mean, that's not really that legit. Aleister Crowley dressed up like a pharaoh, and he wasn't even a pharaoh. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Astrology and alchemy, getting us more firmly esoteric land.
Dress up like a pharaoh and do fucking fake gematria and do like baby eating rituals. Like, fuck out of here.
Some of those restrictions inherited from Isidore and Augustine.
What is real then, Cuts? I don't know. Just look at it for what it actually is. What it actually is. Yeah, he dressed up like a Native American too. I know, it's blasphemy. That's what they are. They're satanic demons, and they're trying to fraud anything that was once good that they could try to fraud.
Thus, Albertus Magnus lived at just the right moment for a very brief but very important renaissance in Christian occultism, something that wouldn't be seen again until the latter part of the 15th century. And as I mentioned a moment ago, Albert's comments on the occult will often surprise
Dude, I promise you guys, I'll never try to teach you gematria and claim that I'm your gematria teacher unless I study from a rabbi for like 10 years, and I'll probably never do that. So don't even worry about me. Like, I'm not going to start trying to do fucking that type of fraud.
However, in his more philosophical,
we can look at all this stuff though and see it for what it actually is.
The more genuine positions of the experiment.
There was protest against him. Yeah, no, I think that's true. I think you're probably right about that, Space Monkey. That sounds about right.
Aristotle, but also the Arabic commentaries, but most important of all for our purposes, his own experiment.
Yeah, Aleister Crowley dressed up as a Native American, and now you guys think that Native Americans used to do fucking satanic gematria, Aleister Crowley. Like unbelievable. Now you think Aleister Crowley is a Native American. Just because Aleister Crowley dressed up like a Native American and a pharaoh doesn't mean he's a Native American or a pharaoh. Or he's hermetic or fucking spiritualist. Nope. That's not what that means. It's just a fucking fraud dressing up as a rabbi, basically. A motherfucker's pretending to be a gematria teacher. Same fucking shit.
Specifically, Albert will often echo some inherited lore from the old days of old.
Dude, Quack is a bitch on a soapbox that pretends to be a gematria rabbi, and all his gematria is in English. And he's like, I am Messiah, gematria, I predict sports gambling. Does anybody want to gamble, children? He's like, hey, kiddos, does anybody want to gamble with me? Buy my Patreon.
With his own or his colleague's own experimental experience.
And it's like a literal, like, child predator rat motherfucker. He's like, yeah, go and get in that van over there.
It's like craziness.
He's like, yeah, you want to learn gematria, kids? He's like, go hop in that van. It's the gematria teaching bus or whatever. And then we have Candy, and it's the Quack, and he's like, yeah, gematria. Have you ever heard of gematria fake news? The Jesuits are killing everybody with gematria, kids. Have you ever heard of that?
Albert's discussing whether an incorporeal agent, such as a spirit or an angel or demon for that matter, can move itself or be the source of movement. And rather than just appealing to a
Why do you guys think it is that Zachary K. Hubbard is like desperately trying to target kids with fake gematria? Like, what the fuck is that? Dude, they're scum. Dude, one of them was called this Zach from living in a tent naked under the freeway, under the highway, by the freeway, in a tent, under an overpass in Texas yesterday on a stream like 2 days ago, a day ago, whatever, and said to the Quack that we need to start teaching conspiracies to the children. That's what the fucking Quacks are all about. He's like, I know your gematria is all above board, Quackery. Dude, I could show you this guy, but I don't even want to go there. I don't even want to show it. It's so garbagey. It's disgusting. That type of shit that you do, Zach, makes me want to puke. That's fucking disgusting. You have some homeless motherfucker that's washing himself with like fucking malaria, fucking mosquito, fucking bucket water and shitting in it and washing his ass in the tent with the fucking shit and the piss and the tarp and like unfucking real. You can fucking go straight to hell. I hope you take a nap on the tracks. Fuck a satanic ritual. I want Zachary to teach gematria on the train tracks.
Albert clearly condemns any magic that involves invocation.
Hubbard should go teach his fake gematria and do his little gematria or Jesuit ritual on the fucking train tracks and protest the Jesuit train. Straight the fuck up. And then you'll have the fucking gematria ritual, Jesuit gematria ritual of yourself that you fucking so fucking desperately deserve.
As much as it is a guardrail, and it's never lowered. You can never do any of that kind of stuff, according to Albert.
You should do a Jesuit gematria satanic train ritual, Zachary, with yourself. You should sacrifice yourself for gematria. You should scream gematria and Jesuits at the train, and then it'll just be like chicka 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 choo choo. It's like, please remove anybody on the train tracks, move immediately. We're barreling down the tracks, and then just the Quack just splat, and they. Dude, can you imagine how far the Quack would fucking get dragged down the train tracks?
Also immaterial intelligence.
Imagine Hubbard just splattered all over the fucking tracks. For like 3 blocks long worth. However long a train could stretch out a human body.
Cosmology, Albert contends that the superlunar world, the world above the moon, is populated by a series of celestial intelligences.
Hubbard should try to stop a Jesuit train.
The planets and the fixed stars, which are all instruments of causation between
Straight the fuck up.
Divine first cause and the sublunar physical world.
Dude, if I saw a news article of quackery and he just got splatted on the fucking train tracks, I would laugh my ass off. That shit would be hilarious. That would be so fucking funny, it would be ridiculous.
Again,
The quack, he's dragged by the train for like 46 blocks or some shit.
And the physical sublunar world can only ultimately be called
Trying to protester tries to stop Jesuit train. Washington State protester tries to stop Jesuit train with gematria. Quack! And then it's like, and the cult was sad. The cult was mourning afterwards. There was a bunch of people that came out for the quack's fucking 4 block long fucking ceremonial. Dude, I would laugh my ass off if that fool got quacked out by a truck. I would laugh my ass off if like a Waymo fucking ran over the quack. I would laugh my ass off if a fucking like a I don't know what could get the quack, like a CIA bird or some shit got the quack.
Indeed, at any given moment, the world is simply crisscrossed with a vast
The Jesuit bird took out the quack.
And the objects infused with exactly those celestial influences, hidden influences, which create the causal structure and the
Dude, what if Hubbard got eaten by crows?
But
I mean, that would be really dark and satanic.
Those hidden
You know?
celestial influences which rain down from the vast superlunar intelligence.
Jesuit crows.
And not just detect them, but instrumentalize them to empower the human being to do the will of God. A divine will communicated directly to human beings in just those instances.
Dude, what if the squirrels fucking got the quack?
Detection and instrumentalization.
Did you guys hear that? The quack tried to fraud Monograph again the other day, and he was like, yeah, he's like, the guy drove a truck through my house, and
Ars Magica.
then there was a dead squirrel in my yard. I think it was them.
Yeah, this is all downstream of...
No, you killed the squirrel, Zach, and put it in a bag and called the police and tried to lie on someone about your fucking a truck hitting your house, which was a drunk driver and a squirrel. Dude, like, you should go straight to hell. I hope the squirrels unionize and fucking protest your bitch ass. What if the squirrels in Zach's neighborhood in Prosser, what if they got wind of the quack was a squirrel harmer? And they fucking like, dude, Chip and Dale, they fucking catch the quack with their crew.
His conception of magica.
What do you guys think squirrels would do to the quack?
And here he details the theory and practice.
Squirrels would probably dangle his eyeballs from a fucking tree and fucking like put them in a hole in a tree. That's what I would imagine.
The cosmic spheres may be captured in the form of magical
If the squirrels realized the quack was killing the squirrels, they would probably like get together and fucking like surround his house. You know, if they figured out that it was him and his mom that was poisoning the squirrels. Dude, Zach said that fucking Monograph put a squirrel in a bag in front of his house, but like he also admitted in some other stream that his mom poisons the squirrels. So, I mean, which one is it, motherfucker? Did you just sweep up a squirrel that your mom killed or what? Like, fuck out of here. Hopefully some Satanists shove a squirrel up your ass.
But also the received wisdom of the ancient Egyptians.
Yeah, he probably does. He probably flamethrowers the squirrels in his garage.
To Greek Ptolemy and Magor.
He probably like accuses them of being Jesuit squirrels. He's like, squirrel equals 201. I'm gonna flamethrower you and barbecue you in my garage.
And beyond.
Do you guys think quackery barbecues in his garage?
Thomas Aquinas would reject talismanic.
Dude, Zachary K. Hubbard is the type of fucking tard that probably barbecues in the garage. He doesn't even want to go outside. He's like, can I open the door?
continue.
He
this
just has the
line,
the barbecue like
and
inside of the garage,
discussion
and it's like
to
squirrels and shit, and the neighbors are like,
parts of animals,
stay away from. They whisper to each other. They're like, stay away from that house. In that house, they teach gematria. Dude, they probably put up leaflets and flyers around, like warning about the quack in the quack's neighborhood.
warn for specific matters.
Someone should go do graffiti in the quack's neighborhood and write fucking anti-quack, anti-Zachary K. Hubbard shit and vandalism around and warn people about the quack. They probably do little pamphlets and like stickers and shit, and they're like House 201 is known for fucking satanic ritual gematria or whatever.
Of special interest is his discussion of the hoopoo.
The guy thinks he's Aleister Crowley. Everybody steer clear.
Perhaps most infamously in the Pikatrix.
The guy that lives at 201 in Prosser, Washington, fucking thinks he's Aleister Crowley. Everybody steer clear.
Magical stone of some significance and mineralities that can be found often in the nest of just
the quack's house is probably gonna burn down one day in a satanic gematria ritual. He'll probably blame the squirrels. He'll be like, those squirrels frauded, they set me up. He'll try to fraud the squirrels.
Range of possible causes. He finally seems to land on the idea that
dude, what if the squirrels learn how to start doing gematria rituals?
Fascinator, a bit like
what if the Jesuit squirrels did a gematria ritual on your bitch ass, snitch ass?
He also has the
even the squirrels know you're a snitch.
Or maleficia, a topic that people become absolutely obsessed with in later centuries.
Hold on, true seeker. Who is calling? Do we have a phone call? Is Gematrian calling? We are calling. Oh, you Zachary, oh. How are you doing today? Who the fuck is calling me right now from India? Fuck out of here. Unbelievable. Really? Fuck off. Really? You're calling from India? Dude, I don't appreciate whoever this motherfucker D26 is that keeps calling from India. Gematria is not even an Indian, bro. Gematria is Hebrew, dog.
This is D26 from India and Jersey. How are you doing today, Mr. Hubbard? I'm calling you live, but it's a little inconvenient.
I just had to laugh.
My time in India. Hi, D26, I'm looking for work. Time is no big deal, it's okay. I usually stay up late looking for work anyways.
You know what it is? We're actually paid trolls, according to the quack. I'm going to tell you guys a secret. We are paid trolls. Zachary K. Hubbard is my best friend, and he said that he'll pay me to troll him. We're paid trolls. Zachary K. Hubbard is my homie. My old homie Zachary K. Hubbard said that he would pay me to troll him, but I'm still waiting to get paid. Like, he's a fraud. He's a fraud, though. You know what I mean? He's like, Kuts. But just between me and you, the gematria is totally fake. I know gematria is Hebrew. You were right all along. But I'll pay you if you want to if you want to troll me, I'll pay you. Right? And I was like, yeah, you need to pay me. I told him he had to pay me for the gematria one way or another. Paid trolls. You're a paid troll. Quack. Yeah, paid by you. The only person that owes me money and needs to pay for the trolling is Hubbard. That's it. The only person that we're gonna ever get paid for from trolling needs to be Hubbard. Don't tell me that you're gonna pay me to be a paid troll if you're not gonna pay. I mean, fuck out of here. I don't appreciate that. Why do you guys think it was that Zachary K. Hubbard secretly told us all to troll him for money? He's like, I have big gematria money. If you become a troll for me, I'll pay. Like, yeah, fucking right. You're a bitch, motherfucker. Paid troll. Does anybody believe that we're actually paid trolls? Like, does anybody believe that shit? Really? We're paid trolls, but you have a mighty networks with bots. No, you're a fucking fraud. There's no paid trolls. Alright, I'll try to spare you guys my videos. My videos like that are the worst. Oh, this is a weird video. Oh my God, the daughter of immigrants. Dude, they have like UN refugee people trying to fraud. That are like politicians. Really, Fiona Ma? Dude, she looks like she got an anti-fucking doing fucking fentanyl and coke fucking surgery. Jesus Christ. Her nose is all sucked up. What the fuck is that?
They do raise a lot of reports that help me make sound decisions. When I think I'm slow, I can look at it. It's like, no, you're still doing good.
History of wash your mouth. As parents, we ask tough questions. What's in your mouth? What's in your mind?
Knights Templar Demon Head. In 1307, as the sun rose over Paris, royal guards stormed monasteries, castles, and commanderies across France, arresting every Knight Templar they could find. Soon after, the Inquisition claimed to have uncovered a satanic conspiracy at the heart of Christendom's most elite military order.
See, even the elite of the church tried to round up the satanic plot against the fucking Knights Templars.
The Knights Templar were once the pride of Christian Europe, monastic warriors founded after the First Crusade to guard pilgrims in the Holy Land. Bound by vows of chastity and poverty, they wore a red cross over white robes and grew wealthy, managing gold and land across Europe. But by the early 14th century, the Templars had lost their primary purpose. The Muslims had retaken Jerusalem, and the Knights, now financiers to kings, had outlived their political usefulness. King Philip IV of France, deeply in debt to Italy, found an expedient solution: destroy them. On Friday, October 13th, 1307, he ordered the mass arrest of every Templar in France. Under interrogation, many confessed to heresy and idol worship.
Weird-ass king.
The supposed idol, a mysterious head named Baphomet, became the centerpiece of the charges. Descriptions, however, were wildly contradictory. One Templar claimed it was a wooden carving. Another said it was silver-covered and had 4 legs. Some described a cat with 3 faces. Others, the embalmed head of St. John the Baptist. One knight even said the head spoke to him, offering warnings before battle. Curiously, investigators did find silver-gilt heads among Templar possessions, including one item carefully cataloged as head number 58. But this object doesn't match the lurid rumors. It's described not as a bearded demon, but as a finely made silver head, the figure of a woman, and it contained fragments of an actual human skull.
Has anybody ever heard of any of this shit? Or do you just say that they're doing gematria? They're like, they're doing gematria, even though it's like this other historical stuff.
To heal the sick, attract wealth.
Watch, you know what it doesn't say? That they're doing gematria in 4 ciphers in English? That's what it doesn't say that they were doing.
Grandmaster Jacques de Molay, who recanted his confession and died proclaiming his innocence. According to legend, he He cursed both the Pope.
They said that they caught the bad ones that they caught were doing occult satanic garbage.
Centuries later, in 2001.
And that's good. They should have caught them. They should have rounded them up. They should do a clearinghouse, a cleaning of the church, if you will.
Absolved the Templars of heresy, but the crown burned them anyway. As for Baphomet, the name may have originated during the Crusades.
This is what actually happened.
French heard Muslim cries to Muhammad during the Battle of Antioch in 1098 and misheard the name as Baphomet. To medieval Christians, Islam was seen not as a rival faith, but a heresy, and Muhammad became synonymous with devil worship. The Baphomet we recognize today, the horned figure found in tarot decks and occult art, has almost nothing to do with the Knights Templar. No medieval source describes horns or a goat-headed idol. The fearsome head that haunted the Inquisitors' imaginations was likely a misunderstood religious relic, its legend twisted under false accusations and reshaped over centuries. Mirror of Florum. In a museum gallery in Dresden, Germany, surrounded by telescopes and brass instruments once used to measure the stars, there sits a small iron mirror from the 16th century, no larger than a human hand. At first glance, it looks like a scientific tool, something ordinary.
The mirror of
harmless.
Florum?
Then we notice the names carved into its surface. Hatzai, Erich, Roman. And at its center, a single name, Florin. According to a forgotten ritual from the 15th century, this mirror is not meant to reflect a face. It's meant to summon one.
That's crazy. Really, a mirror that's meant to summon a face, not to reflect a face?
A figure will appear in the surface, an armored knight on horseback.
Oh, hell no.
He knows the past, he sees the present, and he can reveal the future. But only if you make him speak. This isn't folklore added centuries later. The mirror is real. It exists today behind glass in the Mathematische Physikalische Salon, a museum built from the scientific instruments of Saxon core astronomers. And the ritual describing it comes from a book that was never meant to be found. It's known as the Munich Handbook of Necromancy. Hidden for centuries in the Bavarian State Library, the manuscript was decoded by historian Richard Kieckhaver. It's a working
magic in the Middle Ages.
And precise step-by-step instructions for medieval conjurers. Among them are 5 mirror rituals. The most elaborate is devoted to Florin. The ritual begins with purification. The operator must bathe, dress in clean clothes, and prepare the room with offerings, milk, wine, honey, sprinkled into the air like bait. Then come the scents: aloes, white frankincense, myrrh, and the rarest ingredient of all, ambergris. They were thought to feed spirits, as if the smoke itself carried energy for the invisible. But the mirror isn't enough. A young boy is required.
Oh my god, they want you to sacrifice a child?
A candle burns nearby.
Unbelievable.
The text describes how the child is guided into a waking trance. As minutes pass, his pupils widen, reflecting the candlelight, until his eyes shine like an animal's in the dark.
Whoa, they're showing a black-eyed baby? That's fucking crazy work.
It's an entire paragraph of harsh, breath-testing syllables.
Dude, this shit is so similar to the fucking fake gematria cult. It's ridiculous.
Language at all, just distorted Arabic. And if the ritual succeeds, the mirror changes. The boy sees a knight on a horseback, a squire standing beside him. At first, the knight doesn't speak, but the manual makes a promise. Repeat the ritual 9 times, and the knight will grow bolder. On the final attempt, he will step forward and speak face to face. The mirror of Florin doesn't promise wealth. It doesn't offer power. It doesn't threaten death. It offers something far more dangerous. A glimpse of the future. And today, it sits in plain sight. Silent, polished, and waiting for someone who knows what to ask. The devils atop the temple. In November of 1519, at the top of the pyramid that had anchored an empire for 2 centuries, 2 men from Spain, walked into a room they would later describe as hell. Hernan Cortez led the way. Bernal Diaz del Castillo, a foot soldier with an eye
Found
and
the
similar
ones
detail,
on
followed
temples in
closely
India
further
that
into the snow.
predate the Jesuits,
He later described
Zachary.
seeing in his chronicle the true history of the conquest of New Spain. They were standing in Tenochtitlan, the largest city in the Americas, a massive metropolis of canals and causeways. They had entered as guests, nervous ones, escorted by priests and nobles up the steep step to the Templo Mayor, the sacred heart of the Mexican Empire. Cortez said he wanted to see the gods. It was both a diplomatic lie and a reconnaissance mission. By this point in the campaign, Cortez had already burned his ships to ensure that conquest was the only path forward. There would be no retreat. He allied with the rival Tlaxcalans and walked into the city of his enemy without firing a shot. Days later, he would take the emperor hostage. But first, he needed to see what ruled from the summit. The inner chamber was dim.
My bad, you guys. I had to take off my last couple streams because I think I was like hella fucking hyphy or some shit.
The first was Witila Bochli, patron of war and the sun, armored in gold.
Even though I had a lot of good spiels, but I think it was like too vicious. It was like too bad. Like I don't want to risk my channel, you know.
Shining black mirrors. Around them stood smaller figures.
I was just letting loose on the quacks.
The walls, he said, were blackened, not by smoke alone, but by blood. Incense burned. Offerings lay scattered. Somewhere nearby hung a massive drum, whose sound, Diaz claimed, could be heard for miles.
You know what's funny as fuck? That fucking Snitcher said he fucking has he was on his last leg of his channel. All he needs is one more strike to lose his channel. And then all the gematria will be gone, but that he made a new channel. So if there actually is any trolls online that could help us deal with Snitcher, he has some new fucking Rat King Snitcher fucking Snitcher channel, like some fucking other new rat channel that the quack fucking kid has. And we're gonna fuck up that channel too, just so you know, Snitcher. Just so you're fully prepared for, like, I'm gonna fuck up your channel. You're a fucking fat, stupid snitch scumbag, like, unbelievable. You're gematria fat, you're like a fat fucking Mexican snitch, Tachi fucking gematria rabbi. I mean, you're a fat, stupid loser.
This fragile truce cracked. Tensions deepened, then snapped during the Toshkatl massacre, and the city descended into war. Months later, as the city...
Dude, I heard Fat King Snitcher, King Richard TV, he fucking does COVID anal swabs and mails them to Zachary for like the morning coffee. And Quackery uses them to like stir his tea. I mean, that's ridiculous.
They survive only in accounts like Diaz's.
Richard Joseph Tarango, aka Fat King Snitchard, aka King Richard TV, fucking uses COVID-19 anal swabs as anal swabs and fucking mails them to Zachary K. Hubbard in hopes that he'll get to meet the guy to go on a gematria brunch someday. Are you gonna come to California? Quackery?
Sister Sheki, the killing stone.
Dude, Snitchard, you're not supposed to use the fucking at-home test swab to fucking shove it up your asshole and teach fake gematria, like.
Killing stone had split in two.
And send it to Zachary in the mail.
Ritualistic thick rope that once sealed its circumference now lay loosely on the ground.
Someone should send mail, dude. Somebody should mail a box of fucking like a opened box of like COVID-19 swabs to the quack. That's what we should pay what's her name to do for us. Hey Badger, if you're awake, that's what we need to do. We need to send the quack a fucking open box of like COVID-19 swabs. You know? Like a used, like a old pre-owned, buy it off of like fucking eBay or some shit, like.
in 12th century killed.
Send the quack a fucking open, used, old fucking box from the fucking 3 years ago, the COVID swabs.
The hidden truth. Zanama was a kitsune.
So he could test himself for hentai virus.
She fled, was hunted, and was ultimately transformed into stone. And now, after nearly 1,000 years of containment, the stone had cracked open.
Dude, how many fucking COVID-19 swabs do you think Quackery fucking shoves up his asshole in the morning fucking at a time? Like probably 20 of them.
One tweet read. Others asked, why now?
What amount of COVID-19 swabs do you guys think Zachary K. Hubbard actually shoves up his asshole in the morning before he goes live and teaches fake gematria? It's probably like 56 of them motherfuckers. Like, he likes girth gematria. He likes big swab gematria.
The stone shattered, and its cursed fragments were scattered across Japan. But the largest
fucking quack.
Still seeping poison.
He probably like sends them off to the lab every day. He's like, yeah, do I have hantavirus today, babe? He's like, hey babe, hey sweet lady babe, can you check these swabs for me? I'm not sure if I have COVID-19 gematria or fucking Jesuit fucking hentai virus gematria, hentavirus gematria.
Local officials were limited in their response.
Dude, Zach is probably gonna be the fucking like source of the outbreak of the fucking new virus.
National approval. The fox legend isn't uniquely Japanese. In China,
It's gonna turn out it was the quack.
From Shang Dynasty. In Korea, she's the Kumiko, eater of hearts. Across borders and centuries, the nine-tailed fox appears.
Ooh, I got a good meme. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a picture of a fucking COVID-19 mask and a swab. I'm gonna take a picture of a COVID-19 mask, right? Check this out, and the swab. And I already have the picture of the quack like holding his baby where the baby looks really like distraught. Dude, the baby looks hella distraught in the picture with the quack of the baby. And we'll just slap where the baby looks like it's crying. It's about like Zach's on a live stream with his baby, right? Check this. I got a screenshot of it. The baby looks like he's about to die. The baby looks like it's about to start crying. And we're just gonna slap a fucking COVID-19 mask on the baby and a fucking cotton swab in the quack's fucking hand.
For more than 3 centuries.
With the black-eyed baby.
Daughter of a Sicilian prince and sister to a future cardinal.
Fuck you. You want to be a satanic fucking rat fucking bitch, motherfucker? Fuck you. I'll make a meme of you with your baby in a COVID mask and you holding the swab. Fucking bitch. Straight up right off of your stream.
Devoting herself to prayer.
It's gonna be a picture of you, Zachary K. Hubbard, holding your baby, looking like it's about to start dying, and put a fucking COVID-19 mask on the baby, and fucking put one on you, and put a fucking COVID-19 swab in your hand, and then put like a, well, maybe I'll even plug one up the baby's nose. We'll put 2 COVID-19 vaccine swabs in the baby's nose, a mask on the baby halfway down the cheeks, and then the quack just sitting there, and the baby looks like it's gonna die. And then I'll put like a vaccine on the table in the background.
Arabic, runic,
fucking bitch.
characters.
And you're on the phone with sweet lady, and you're like, can you check these fucking swabs for me? I'm worried about the hantavirus.
Satan demanded she sign a letter.
I'm worried about gematria 19.
Instead, writing oime, Latin for.
And then I'll make a meme of fucking doy at the fucking pharmacy.
The letter's contents remained locked away.
Using the fucking like the PCR test machine and testing the swabs.
Scientists in Sicily, led by Daniele Abate at the Ludum Science Center, fed the letter into a code-breaking program.
And then I'll find a picture of like the Black Plague and put a fucking your head of your baby on the fucking some fucking body in the fucking pit from the Black Plague. Like fuck you. Fucking bitch.
They expected fragments.
Say you're against fucking you ain't against shit, motherfucker. You're doing this satanic rat garbage. You're a bitch. I'll put a fucking pentagram on your forehead too, bitch. Think about that. A meme of Zachary K. Hubbard, a picture of him straight off his stream where he's holding the baby. It looks like it's gonna die. I'll put the cotton swabs up his nose, up the nose of all of them. We'll put cotton swabs all in their nose. And fucking put like the quack scene in the background and have the doy. I'll put like one of those like I'll have the you know the voice where you put like when someone's saying something in a cartoon, they have the little like audio box, like it looks like a chat or something, and I'll have it coming out of the door, and it'll be like, "That Quackery, can you check these fucking? Can you check the fucking swabs for me?"
Code shows design and a deep understanding.
Do you guys think Sweet Lady makes the quack fucking shove fucking cotton swabs up their fucking nose?
In Sicily. According to later accounts, she received 2 more messages from Satan, but refused to write them down. Whatever spoke through her pen, it never fully finished the conversation.
Are you guys following this? This shit's crazy.
Which artifact in this video do you think has the most believable explanation? And which one still doesn't make sense at all? Let me know in the comments. As always, thank you for watching Dark 5.
Dude, what if we put your baby in that fucking mirror?
The greatest mysteries of this world and beyond.
What if I did a meme of the quack's baby in that fucking satanic fucking mirror, and then put the fucking the demon fucking code on like the name of the mirror or whatever the fuck it was called, Nolray or whatever the fuck it was.
My name is Eleni Kounalakis. You can call me Eleni. As treasure.
Satanic sorcery pact, horrors on the Arabic internet. Jesus Christ. I want to spare you guys my videos, but my videos are the best, and fuck it. No, I'm not gonna stoop down to their level. I'm not gonna make that meme, but if somebody made that meme, I mean, against the quack, that would be like pretty like on point. It'd be accurate. Even though I'm making fun of the quack, I'm really being serious though. I'm dead serious. I'm not playing with you. This isn't a funny fucking joking around stream. This isn't a gematria debate. This is not a gematria debate.
In 1987, a British Army officer sweeps the field in northern Germany with a metal detector and finds a cache of Roman coins. But one of the things archaeologists pull from the ground isn't supposed to exist.
Dude, wouldn't you want to find a cache of Roman coins?
A Roman soldier wearing a silver face into battle. For thousands of years, humans have been putting faces on top of faces. Masks carved from stone. Masks molded onto the dead. Masks cast in metals that shouldn't exist. Some were worn in rituals, some in battle. Some were hidden underground and never meant to be found. These are masks no one has fully explained.
Well, that's hella crazy weird. Dark 5 Ancient Mysteries, the face of the battlefield, the face on the battlefield.
A genetic warlord named Arminius lured 3 Roman legions into an ambush on the ground near Calcresa. Around 20,000 were slaughtered. It would go down as the Battle of Teutoburg Forest. When the news reached Emperor Augustus, he reportedly cried out, quote, "Give me back my legions." But one artifact stands apart. An iron face mask, coated in silver, depicting a calm, expressionless human face. It's a Roman cavalry mask, and it isn't supposed to be here. According to most historians, masks like this were never worn in battle. They were parade equipment, used during cavalry tournaments called Hippica Gymnasia. Riders were dressed as Greeks,
Gymnasia?
Amazons, and staged mock combat for visiting dignitaries. The masks were decorative, ceremonial, beautiful, and useless. But the Calcresi mask was found alongside spearheads, sling bullets, sword fragments, and shield bosses. At least one Roman cavalryman rode into Teutoburg Forest wearing a silver face. He didn't ride out. Masks like this have turned up across the former empire, from Syria to Algeria to the banks of the Rhine. But some of the strangest come from Britain, where only 3 have ever been found. The Ribchester helmet was discovered in 1796 by a boy playing behind his house in Lancashire. It was buried alongside more than 30 other pieces of cavalry equipment.
Well, that's hella weird looking.
In a Roman fort, abandoned 16 centuries earlier. No one knows who buried it or why. The mask depicts a young man's face, with curls that twist into serpent.
Damn, it's all in silver.
It stares out with the same blank, unsettling calm as the face of Calcresa.
Damn, that's a hella crazy,
Crosby Garrett helmet is stranger
wild looking mask.
In 2010, a metal detectorist found it in 67 pieces in a remote Cumbrian helmet.
Garrett helmet?
Visor had been placed face down.
Holy fuck, those are creepy as fuck. That makes them, the warrior soldier guy look like a robot almost. Like it's like a silver face mask.
Almost always depict the same thing.
That's hella scary.
Smooth, calm, black. Some are female, with elaborate hairstyles made out of delicate chains. A few have tiny glass rings set into the eyes to imitate an iris. They stare out with an expression.
Maybe that's why they thought they were gods. Maybe they were wearing like silver, gold, like weird, crazy looking face masks.
The metal is the same quality used with the standard combat helmets. Which raises a question no one has fully answered. If these masks work perfectly well in battle, and at least one was found on a battlefield, then why do we keep insisting they were only for show? It's 1514. A ship arrives in England, carrying a gift from the most powerful man in Europe. Inside is a full suit of armor. It was built by Conrad Susenhofer, one of the finest armorers alive. The man who sent it is Holy Roman Emperor Maximilian I. The man it's for.
Oh, Maximilian?
But this isn't ordinary armor. The helmet has a face. There are wrinkles around the eyes.
Dude, doesn't that look like quackery?
Beneath the nose. The mouth is frozen.
Doesn't that look like Hubbard? By gematria, by gematria, by gematria. By my gematria.
And then there are the horns.
Aleister Crowley is good. That's where I learned gematria from. Buy some gematria or gematria. Well, Jesuits are doing gematria though, and they're bad.
And after 500 years, no one can agree on what it means. Here's what we know. Maximilian commissioned this armor around 1511. And Germany had just become allies through the Holy League, a coalition.
You wear a gematria mask and you're a fraud.
The gift of armor between monarchs was standard diplomacy. But this helmet wasn't standard. The face appears to be modeled.
Dude, doesn't that look like quackery?
A playing card from the same period, designed by the artist Peter Faulkner.
Oh, they had a better one.
Bells. He's a fool. His
wearing spectacles. The resemblance to the helmet is striking. For a long time, scholars even believed the helmet belonged to Henry's court fool, Will Summers. But there's a problem. Summers didn't join
The court jester of King Henry, William Summers? Whoa, this is another guy that's like fucking the other guy that does gematria for the
In
king.
the 16th century, ram's horns carried two meanings. Neither was flattering. They symbolized the devil, or a man whose wife had been unfaithful. So why would the emperor send his new ally a helmet that calls him Satan, or a fool whose wife cheats on him? But it gets stranger. The Royal Armories now believe the horns weren't part of the original gift at all. Their attachment is crude. It doesn't match Susan Hoffa's work on the rest of the helmet. The horns themselves are beautifully made. They're realistic, with traces of gilding that mimic natural growth rings, but they appear to have been added later by someone else. Who attached them is unknown. Why is also unknown. They first appeared in the description of the helmet in 1547, the year Henry died. After the English Civil War, the rest of the armor might be sold for scrap. The helmet survived, probably because it was too bizarre to melt down. For centuries, it sat in the Tower of London, misidentified, misunderstood. Today, it sits in the Tournament Gallery at the Royal Armories Museum in Leeds. It's the museum's symbol. You'll find it on the road signs. A helmet with the face of a fool, and the horns of the devil. And after 5 centuries, nobody can explain.
That's some crazy. Right at 322. That's crazy. I've been streaming for 3 hours and 22 minutes, guys.
40 square meters, sealed beneath logs and stone.
And 42 seconds.
Inside, they find the remains of 30 adults. But the bodies aren't bodies. They're dummies. Life-size mannequins made of leather, stuffed with tightly twisted grass.
Oh, hell no. That's hella fucking ghetto. Giant-sized baby voodoo dolls? Like, Jesus Christ.
And on their faces,
unfucking believable. With masks on the head.
made of gypsum.
Made out of fucking, like, leather.
Out of the dead person's face shortly after death.
Jesus
Some are
Christ.
painted white with red spirals. Others are red with black stripes. Men look different from women. Each one captures a specific feature.
Dude, that's hella creepy. I never even seen this shit before. This is the first time I was looking at this video.
They belong to the Tashkik, a warrior culture that dominated southern Siberia from roughly the 1st century to the 7th century AD.
Siberian
They built
gematria?
fortified settlements along the Yenisei River. They worked metal, wove textiles, bred cattle. And when someone died, they didn't just bury the body. In cases like these, they rebuilt the person from scratch. First, the body was cremated. Then the bones were placed inside a leather effigy. Miniature replicas of swords, arrows, and quivers were laid beside it. The gypsum mask went on last. Then the dummy was placed inside a communal crypt, where it stayed for months, sometimes years. The family held funeral feasts.
That's weird. They fucking, really? They cremated them and then, like, reconstituted the bones into, like, a mannequin dummy fucking voodoo doll and put the doll in the grave?
Archaeologists laid in Kinshasa.
Jesus
Excavated
Christ.
Number 4, the Oglati burial ground. Inside, he found a mummy. One of the
With
oldest
some, like,
mummies
creepy-ass looking masks on them.
Decades later, a CT scan revealed the face beneath the painted mask. A young man, 25 to 30 years old,
Christ.
reddish brown hair, and a long suture running from his left eye to his ear.
The quack should do gematria on him and try to bring him back to life.
The stitching was done after death. The wound may have been
Use a thumbnail of Zach dressed as a Native American. Yeah, dude, we have a meme. I think there is a meme that we made of him like that. That's a good one, dude. We'll get right on that, Space Monkey. I'm gonna make a meme of the quack. Not only the one with the fucking baby and the fucking CV-19 fucking test fucking swabs up their nose and with the mask, but also the one with the as a Native American.
Nothing aggressive at all.
They'll probably believe that he's Native American.
Sleeping person.
Yeah, if I do a thumbnail of Zachary K. Hubbard like riding on the back of a buffalo and like dressed up as a Native American, they'll probably actually believe that it's Hubbard from like 100 years ago, a couple hundred years ago. They'll think it's actually quackery. They'll be like, Zachary was a great gematria teacher back in the Native Americans days.
They disappeared. But the masks stayed. 26 fully intact examples survived today.
I have him as an Indian, but not as an, I don't think I have one. Maybe I have one of him as a Native American.
Faces of people no civilization remembers. A farmer is plowing a field in the Judean hills. It's 1970. His tractor blade catches on something in the dirt. He stops, digs it out. It's a face, hollow eyes,
Oh,
teeth,
hell
jaw frozen
no.
open, and what looks like a silent scream.
Oh, hell no. That's a scary ass looking mask. Jesus Christ.
The mask ends up in the hands of Moshe Dayan.
They just showed it.
Dayan loves the thing. He keeps it displayed right next to his chair, practically staring at him while he works. But it takes scientists more than a decade to understand what it actually is. The mask is roughly 9,000 years old. It's carved from limestone. It dates to the pre-Neolithic, a time when humanity was just learning how to farm. And it's one of only 16 known stone masks from this era on the entire planet. Almost all of them come from the same small stretch of hills
That's crazy
south
work.
of Jerusalem.
Whoa, there's a bunch of them that look like that? There's like a whole chart full of them?
What makes them unsettling is what they appear to represent.
Jesus Christ.
Researchers at the Israel Museum spent a decade studying them.
Alright, sorry about that, you guys.
These aren't portraits of the living. These are portraits of the dead. The shape and dimensions match human skulls. The sunken cheeks, the prominent temples, the exposed teeth. They're sculpted to look like what a face becomes after death. And they were designed to be worn. Computer analysis confirmed it. The eyeballs link up with a living person's field of vision. They weigh between 1 and 2 kilograms. The weight is balanced. A person can strap.
Yo, what's good? 4 viewers and 4 likes. Have anybody ever heard of any of this?
Specifically, a dead ancestor. In 1983, archaeologists excavated a small cave.
Heard to really use a break dancer in college.
Inside, they found fragments of 2 more masks. One still had human hair attached, a mustache and a beard, preserved for 9,000 years in the dry desert air. But the cave held more than masks. There were decorated skulls coated in asphalt, bone figurines, flint knives, and the
Oh
partial
my god, dude, I'm getting scared. Like, this is crazy. Oh yeah, thanks you guys. 4 viewers, 5 likes.